Welcome to V.I.M.P, the very important movie podcast with Shawn, Darian, Jaiden, and Elf on the Shelf, Eli. I'm Shawn.
I'm Darian.
I'm Jaiden.
And I'm Eli.
This is another completely unnecessary movie podcast, but it's about very necessary movies.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that's the end. That's the end of the intro. Trying to streamline it because it's too wordy before. So,
Okay, I like
hello
that.
everyone. We're here with our dogs. Everybody has several dogs with them. I've got 4 or 5 dogs here with me. What's up, dogs?
Dog.
I have 3.
How many do you have, Darian? 2? 2 dogs? You
I have
guys remember
12.
that? Do you guys remember that drink, that alcoholic beverage, 2 dogs?
No, it was probably a child when you were drinking that.
I never did drink it. You were. Jaiden wasn't born yet. I think it went out of business. It was like Mike's Hard Lemonade before Mike's Hard Lemonade. It was
I
called
knew all
Chew.
about that when I was 6. Hell yeah.
Did you drink some?
Hell yeah.
Is that how you knew about it?
That's how I got so cool.
I think it just ruined your brain and you think you're cool. I think it gave you toddler alcohol syndrome. How's everybody been? It's been a while since we recorded. I feel like I've driven across the country about 45 times.
How long has it been?
I have no idea.
It has not been that long. Has it even been a week? We just haven't done like 2 over the course of 5 days.
Has it not been even
It's been
a
a
week?
week and a half.
It's been a week and a half.
Yeah, it was last Wednesday, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, might be.
Yeah, I think I have driven
That's
across the
on
country
me.
twice. Back there and back again.
We had
A
a
Hobbit story.
break.
Got on a Hobbiton journey since the last time we recorded.
So we did record Sunday and then Wednesday.
We were doing like every few days there for a minute.
Yeah.
Were we? Good. That's
We
good.
were.
We're banking for the holidays. We're like squirrels, and the podcast are our nuts.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Since nobody added my apology, I'm going to go ahead and just say it, even though it was over a month ago. Then everybody heard it. But Toby Hooper's dead, and I said that he was alive, but he's dead. And I'm sorry about being wrong about that. So
I forgot
please,
to add that.
I know you did.
You didn't remind me.
I didn't want you to get mad at me.
That's
I was
fair.
angry that day.
I have conflict aversion syndrome.
Runs
Where
in
I'm
the family.
I'm afraid of the women that I'm related to getting mad at me. So I naturally avoid telling them anything they did wrong so that I don't get yelled at.
Are you afraid of me getting mad at you?
Probably, yes. Deep down in my bones, I am.
When have I ever been mad at you?
You don't, it's not you personally.
Mm.
It's just a trauma response. I'm afraid of all women getting mad at me at all times.
Good.
Let's unpack this.
As you
Let's
should
unpack
be.
this. We just got an Eli chime in from the shelf, but his mic wasn't on, so we just got it from Jaiden's mic. Little elf Eli from the shelf. Eli, first of all, did you watch this movie?
I did. I
Okay, good.
fucking love this movie.
All right, should we get into
Good
it though?
king.
We might as well get into it.
Should probably get into it.
We're doing Jaiden's pick this week, Mona Lisa Smile from 2003. It's a Columbia Pictures / Revolution Studio / Red Om Films, which is Julie Roberts' production company. Red Om. Ostensibly a fall movie, according to Jaiden. It's supposed to give fall vibes, but since it's only fall for 1/3 of the movie, I only watched the first third.
Okay, well,
And as soon as it got winter, I turned that shit off.
it literally starts off in fall. So,
Yeah.
and I think it's a great transition for where we are when this is getting uploaded, because this is going to be like the end of November going into Christmas. So I feel like it's pretty perfect.
It's
not
perfect.
as fall as Stepmom.
It's
But
definitely not as fall as the
it's-
Phantom Thread.
It's so much more fall than the Phantom Thread.
It could
so.
be more fall than the Phantom Thread. I don't think anything could be more fall. Name a movie.
I think
Name any movie.
I think Midsummer could be more fall than
More
Phantom
fall.
Thread.
More fall.
That is fucking insane. Midsommar is in the Midsommar.
Midsommar.
It's Midsommar.
That's a good movie. I want to watch that soon.
Have you seen the director's cut of that? You get a little more and I could totally be wrong about this because I'm wrong about everything I ever talk about unless I have it written down and researched. But off the top of the dome, you get more stuff about her dead family. Do they show in the regular one? Do you see her dead family at the beginning, or do they just reference it?
What
I
are we
don't
talking about?
remember. I watched it like 5 years ago.
Midsummer? So
4
talking
years
about
Yeah.
ago.
Midsummer. Sorry, my dog is whining because he wants attention. He's being
Do you
bad.
see her dead family at the beginning? Do you remember, Darian, in the regular
I
version?
don't remember that.
We can just cut all this
Well,
out.
maybe.
I don't remember. We're not even talking about
I
that
feel
movie.
like you do get a glimpse of something. You know something's up.
In the one that I watched most recently, they show her family, her dead family.
Like they show them dead.
Yes.
Like they're just dead and they show that.
Don't they all commit suicide?
All right. I don't
remember.
know what you're talking about.
I
But-
don't remember.
In this movie, they don't commit suicide. So
I wish somebody would have. I would have.
I wish Paul would have. Really.
Which one's Paul?
I'm sorry, Bill.
Oh,
and
Bill.
Paul. And Paul. And
Which one's
Spencer.
Paul?
And Tommy.
Guys, what are we talking about?
I don't know. Jaiden just wants
You
all
gotta-
men to kill
you-
themselves.
You gotta look at the notes.
I didn't have any notes to look at when I made my notes.
Bill is the other professor that's a guy. And then Tommy is the one that is with Julia Stiles' character. Spencer's the cheater, pumpkin eater.
But yeah.
And Paul is the ex-boyfriend who shoved a ring on her finger. So they should all just kill themselves.
Oh, that's right.
Bro.
Okay.
I just
Charlie
have-
blew my mind. That's cousin.
I know. I reference him like everything in here. I don't even know his name. I just put cousin for everything.
Like the whole time I was like, I know that guy. Who is that? Who is that? And then at the end there was like a moment I was like, oh my god. He looks so different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love him.
exactly the same.
Yeah. But different.
Yeah, I put their character names from everything else they're in. So Bill is McNulty.
You got Eric Foreman in there.
I don't know
Bill
who that
is
is.
in The Crown.
What?
So what?
I'm
Say
sorry.
You say Eric Cartman?
Eric Foreman?
That 70s show?
Topher
Oh,
Grace?
yeah.
Or did you reference him as the guy from Spider-Man? Venom?
I reference him
forgot about
as
that.
fucking Topher Grace.
What's wrong with
because
Topher Grace?
I fucking hate Topher Grace.
Why? What'd he do?
He's got that face and
He's
the
the
voice.
only one of that 70s show that's not a horrible person in
Yeah.
real life.
I'm pretty sure he is a horrible person. in
No,
real
he's
life,
not.
Actually.
They talk about that, how he wouldn't hang out with any of them when they were filming the show because he's like, y'all are weird.
What about Donna?
Because of her too. They're
Yeah,
all like
they're all
in that Scientology
Scientologists.
shit, but he's not. He's the only one that's not.
But I think he was off like being a sexual abuser in general.
No.
And
Mm-mm.
Well, I don't know for sure because
I've
you know,
researched
it could always.
extensively.
But I looked it up when all of this stuff was happening with what is his name?
The guy that
Danny
plays Hyde.
Masterson.
Yeah.
When all that was happening, I was like into it for some reason. I don't know why. But a lot of people are talking about how for a long time, like he's never been a part of the group with like Mila Kunis and all of them because he thought they were all freaks.
I'm looking this up, but I think
It's fine to me.
I think the guy in Molly's Game is based off Topher Grace, or maybe it was Michael Cera. I don't remember.
Michael, Sarah.
Oh no, it was Tobey Maguire. All right, I'll take it back.
Okay. Yeah, fuck Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
Fuck Tobey Maguire, but Topher Grace.
wait,
I get
who's
them
Give him
Tobey
confused.
grace.
Maguire?
Give him Topher Grace. I can
Wait,
see
no,
that.
I think
There's
I
some way.
like Tobey Maguire.
No, Tobey Maguire's an asshole. So I've heard.
Wait, no, who's Tobey Maguire? Oh no, you're
He's
right.
Spider-Man.
I hate him. Yeah.
The 180 is crazy. Who were you thinking?
I thought I was getting him and Andrew Garfield mixed up, and I was like, I
The
love
other
Andrew
Spider-Man.
Garfield. Yes, and so I was like, no, but yeah, I hate
2
him.
out of 3 Spider-Mans are good.
Him and Jake Gyllenhaal are the same person to me, and I don't like either of them.
No, I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Interesting.
I don't like. Jake
You just don't like his face.
No,
You
I
don't
don't
have
like
any
him.
reason to not like him.
No, I don't like him.
Why though?
He's just an asshole. He also, I told you about this, I think last episode, about the Taylor Swift thing. I don't even like Taylor Swift,
That's
but
right.
you know,
Her new album is
I haven't listened to a single song.
Garbage.
crazy.
It's so bad.
The lyrics are
Garbage.
so cringy.
We're all gonna get like a hit put on us.
You always say that I'm a millennial. Taylor Swift is the biggest millennial.
True.
No,
Of all
everybody hates her new album. Everybody thinks it's a piece of shit. So if the Taylor stands are coming after people who are talking shit about it, then they're gonna have to kill a lot of people.
Also, a lot of the songs sound like other songs.
I saw that.
I kind of saw it, and then I was at work, and one of the songs came on, and I was like, oh, this is that new Taylor Swift song, and it was playing for a bit. I'm like, wait, this is the Jonas Brothers, but they sound exactly the same.
She needs to get Jack Antonoff and the guys from the National back.
But anyway, don't put this in the pod.
Oh,
'cause
it's
it
definitely
canceled
going.
so quick.
Nobody cares.
A
Nobody
lot
in the
of people
world
care.
cares.
A lot.
But so many people don't care. She's lost her luster. Only the diehards are
A lot of
sticking up for her.
diehards.
But what I'm saying is there's so many people who are talking shit about it that they're going to have to kill a lot of people. We're way down on the totem pole.
I think they're willing.
Our 5 listeners are probably not any of the people.
That we are so thankful for. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for listening. We can punch Taylor Swift in the face, metaphorically, all we want, because she's a billionaire.
Not a threat, though. This is not a threat.
That's why I said metaphorically. You guys ever been on a train? Have you ever taken a train from California to Massachusetts before? Because that's what Julia Roberts is doing as Catherine in this movie that is not a real story or a true story, which is shocking to me. And I will explain that at the end.
It did
Okay.
take place in a real college, though. And
No.
they got backlash because a lot of the people that went to that college during that time said that it was very inaccurate and they didn't even wear clothes like that. They wore jeans and they were very progressive, apparently. So they were very angry.
They were probably angry because they said, we weren't this goddamn boring. We were cool and did cool shit. And you didn't want to kill us every 5 minutes.
That too.
Columbia Pictures, Revolution Studios, and Red Home Films presents Mona Lisa Smile, starring Julia Roberts, Kirsten Dunst,
Queen.
Julia Stiles,
Queen.
Topher Grace,
Queen.
McNulty, others. Anyway, this movie starts off with Julia Roberts on a train heading from California to Massachusetts. And everybody in this movie pronounces the name of the college differently. Did you guys notice that?
Mm-mm.
I did not.
Some people would say Wesley and others will say Wellesley. So I really don't know. I mean, I would imagine it's Wellesley, but nobody else in the movie knew how to pronounce it either or gave a shit about that. So I'm not going to worry about it either. But that's where she's headed. And she gets off the train after we hear Kirsten Dunst's character, which we don't know that yet, narrating and typing the same time. And you think you kind of get the idea that this was based on a novel and you're kind of getting the novel of her life being read, but we do learn later that that's not the case. But that's what they're kind of, what's the word, foreshadowing or trying to give you the idea of. They were hearing like some great tome about a great woman and that it's a true story is what you kind of get the vibes. At least I did anyway. But she gets off that train and it's full fall. We're in the throes of fall in Massachusetts at Wesley University College.
You say
And
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts? I can't talk anymore. I've gotten 3 hours of sleep in the last 48 hours, so I'm going to be a little weird on this one.
Also, it's fall 1953, to be specific.
Oh, yeah, it is 1953. Right in the middle of McCarthyism, which is pretty much the allegory that this entire movie is about. But the first thing she does, she gets off the train, she goes, "Where's the bus?" And then she's immediately wearing fancy school robes and clothes, and she's at the orientation for the first day of school. And then we see Bill / McNulty from The Wire, which you guys have never seen, but you should watch it because he's really good in that.
I've heard The Wire's very good.
He's the main guy. If there's a main guy, he's the main guy of The Wire. But we see him. He walks up to another. Is it a student or professor? I'm not sure. But he's basically giving Julia Roberts the, who's that? Oh, who's that? And then, we basically learn that he wants to fuck Catherine from the first, second scene of the movie. But Jaiden, you're right. This is some fall. We get fall right now. So right now we're on theme. Doesn't last long, but right now we are on theme.
Oh my God.
Okay, every movie mostly is going to be multiple seasons.
I just have to point it out because of how much shit you guys gave me for the Phantom Thread.
I know,
so.
that's literally the only reason.
This is just pure retaliation.
Because your movie didn't have any fall.
I didn't see a singular crunchy leaf in your movie.
I didn't see a leaf at all.
Every time she went and got mushrooms to poison him, she was walking through the fall. She was walking through fall.
No. Even in this movie, when it wasn't fall, it still felt fall because it's so warm toned the entire time that it still gives fall. Like if you go and watch the movie again and look at it, it's always slightly orange.
That's certainly not going to happen.
Anyway.
This is exactly the reaction I was expecting, by the way.
You might be surprised. But we find ourselves inside of Harry Potter's orientation day, where all the girls are outside waiting to get sorted by the sorting hat on the first day of school. And
this part confused me every time I watched it.
It's so okay. I thought, was I just not paying attention? I was super confused about the beginning. Like, I didn't realize that she was at an orientation. I was like, did she just graduate? I thought she already did her schooling. I was confused.
Well, that's because it's very confusing, and we'll bring it up. I have a little point to make about that in a second, but all the faculty is basically inside and all the students are outside, and they have this ritual where they do some creepy shit and ring a bell. And what do they say? Who knocks at the door of learning? And then Julia Stiles says, I am every woman. And then a bunch of other shit. And I wanted to blow my brains out because I don't like Julia Stiles. Do you guys like Julia Stiles? I find her one of the most irritating people on the face of the earth.
I like her fine.
I like her.
I don't. I find her very bad at acting, and I don't like her face. And I hope she hears this and gets mad. And it causes a huge deal on the internet, and we become very popular. But
I think she was fine.
I couldn't relate to that.
You can or can't?
Can't. It's not that I think that she's good, because 100 Things I Hate About You is something that, like, what?
It's 10 Things I Hate About You.
10 things. Okay, sorry.
I was like, is this a spinoff?
I just have too many of them in my head right now. No, but she was decent in that, and I just think, I don't know, she's just like any other normal average actress. So I don't hate her, you know.
She's not so bad. I mean, she's less bad when she's on her own as being the lead, but when you put her up with Julia Roberts and Kirsten Dunst and Maggie Gyllenhaal, she is very much the bottom of that totem pole as far as being good at acting.
Okay, yeah, that.
So it really stands out how bad she is when she's with killers like that.
True. She's a puppy dog.
Yeah, did you guys know that Mike Newell, the director of this movie, he went on to direct The Goblet of Fire? So
I did see that.
this is why we get so much Harry
That's the
Potter.
best Harry Potter movie.
That's wrong.
I disagree.
But
What?
The third one is the best.
it's Prisoner of Azkaban's the best one. You're crazy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Everybody in the world, 99. If you're in a group of 100 people, you're the only one who's going to think Goblet of Fire is the best one.
No. Hayden also thinks it's the best one, and
He's not in the group of 100 people.
He is the biggest Harry Potter fan I know. He watches that movie every other fucking day. Like,
Well, you're both
literally.
wrong.
He watches Goblet of Fire every fucking day, or
He watches them through. Like, every other day. It's his comfort movie.
I mean,
And he says Goblet of Fire is the best, and I agree.
It's because you guys just like what's his face.
Who? Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
No. It's because it's fun. I like the Triwizard Tournament.
No, I'm not. I like the Goblet of Fire fine. It's just not the best one. I'm not shitting on the Goblet of Fire.
You
I
like the
Goblet of
vibes
Fire.
of Prisoner of Azkaban more?
Yeah.
That's when it first starts to get spooky.
Yeah, I know. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
good.
No, I'm saying it's good. It's my second favorite. Can we agree that Order of the Phoenix is the worst one?
Mm.
Now that we've settled that, moving on.
So yeah, they do their whole little ritual and ding dong and declare everything. But yeah, it's basically the staff are inside. That's why they're all wearing the stuff, and then all the students are outside, and then she declares it.
Also,
And
do they do this for every new teacher that comes, or was just
no, this is the first day of
year?
school. This is the
Okay.
beginning of. It's not. It has nothing specifically to do with Julia Roberts' character. She just happens to be there.
Okay, that's what was confusing.
So she's just getting there for orientation. It's not like a welcome Julia Roberts. That would be insane if they did that for every teacher. No, this is just she happens to be there.
I have a question.
Sure.
Like this little thing that they just did where like they knock or whatever, and it's all like, I don't know. I felt powerful when that happened, you know. But anyways, do they do that actually at like universities? Like, do they actually like do something similar to that?
They didn't do that at ASU.
I would assume that they do it at this college and it's based off of a real thing. I don't know if that's word for word what they do or if they still do it, but I'm going to take the movie at its face value that they're basing it off something real and not just making it up whole cloth.
Yeah.
But it's, like a private Christian university from 1870. So that was founded in 1870. So I'm going to assume they do weird stuff like that.
Yeah. I was thinking like maybe they did it like at Harvard or like other old schools like that. But
probably they all have those weird rituals, I don't know. I didn't go to college, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I assume they don't do it. They didn't do it at ASU. I don't think they did do it at big colleges, but there's like a private school, like Wank Fest, like sucking their own dicks type of thing to make them feel special about being rich and going to a fancy school. Like their little club later that we'll get to, but same kind of deal. They love their little private ceremonies, their little secret clubs, their skull and bones bullshit. And then we see Catherine is going to the dorms, getting her room assigned to her. And this is what I mean by it's very confusing to me is how did she get all of her accoutrement that she was wearing at the orientation if she hasn't yet moved in or gotten a dorm or anything? It seems like she just got off the train, got on the bus, changed into her robes where she got them, who knows, went to orientation, and now she's moving in. I feel like all that would have happened before the orientation because the girls are running around and the person that's the woman who's showing her to her room goes, "Oh, shame you weren't here yesterday. It's so quiet," before the girls get here. So where did she get her robes from?
Maybe she was late. And then
I mean, yeah, it could be anything. But
I don't remember the first 15 minutes of any movie that I watched.
Well, I remember it because she looks at everything because they tell her that she's not allowed to have men over and not allowed to have a hot plate. And then Julia Roberts goes, "I don't think I can live without a hot plate for a year."
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah. Basically going, "I don't need no man, but I can't live without a hot plate." They're being very clever. So I just groaned and said to myself, we're in here for a very clever movie. That's what we're in for in this is they're going to be very clever. And if it wasn't for Julia Roberts, who I love, and she can do no wrong, basically, even when she's in a bad movie, I like her in it.
Yeah.
She's
pretty good.
Like last week's movie. But
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a great movie.
Great actors.
You have a crush on her.
You have a crush on her, or I have a crush on her?
You do. Be honest.
Hayden said that was his childhood celebrity crush.
Yeah, she's right up there. Yeah, I like her a lot. I don't know if it's a crush, but she's old. She's too old for me.
She's pretty old now. I just saw a trailer of her in some movie, and I was like, oh, she's looking.
It's the new Luca Guadagnino movie, which is getting shit all over.
Really?
With her in it. Yeah. I just listened to a podcast about it earlier today, and apparently it's not very good.
Yeah, it didn't look very good, but I was like, but she's in it. Maybe that's her thing. She's just in bad movies.
Yeah, that was
so she can shine.
The basic gist of it was, as normal, Julia Roberts is crushing it and it's great, but the movie itself is a piece of shit.
What movie do you like her in?
What good movie do I like her in? Because I like her in every movie.
Okay, well, what good movie do you like her in?
I like her in Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's
I don't
13.
like any of the Ocean's movies, to be honest.
I like her in Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman's good.
I like her in Erin Brockovich. I like her in The Pelican Brief. Those are just off the top of my head.
She's been in a lot of movies.
Have you seen Mystic Pizza?
I haven't seen that. I've been meaning to watch that. The one that just came out on Netflix a couple years ago, where it's like the end of the world. I can't think
I
of the name of
hated
it.
that movie. Oh
I
my
love
God.
that movie. I thought it was so good.
fucking hated that movie. Just because I think we talked about this.
We did.
Just the ending of it was
I love the ending.
so fucking stupid. It was like it made me feel like I wasted 2 hours of my life.
Such a good ending. Down, 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 down.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm pissed off all over again.
That's crazy. It was so good.
She's also in Steel Magnolias, which I really liked as well.
I don't think I've seen. Have I? What happens in that? It's been a while.
It's been a while for me as well, but I just know it's like a family, and it has Dolly Parton in it.
No, I haven't seen that one.
I really liked her in Charlotte's Web.
I haven't seen that either. I've read the book. I think I've seen the cartoon.
Charlotte's Web makes me cry.
She's also in Notting Hill, which I haven't seen, but I really want to see.
She's in Hook.
She's not in Hook, is she?
Yeah, she is.
Isn't that Gina Davis?
It says Hook right here.
Oh, no, she's Tinkerbell. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking of the other one with Gina Davis, the other pirate movie, Cutthroat Island. So she decides to bail and not move into the dorms. And she goes to which is why I don't understand why she didn't go here in the first place, to the staff housing.
Yeah. That would have made more sense.
Yeah, why was she?
I didn't notice that. Only you would notice that, but.
Yeah,
right.
she didn't want to have all the kids running around her. She wanted some privacy, I take. So, but why that needed to be in there at all, I don't understand. But she goes and moves into a house with a couple other women in it. And what are their names? Someone tell me.
Joanne and I'm just kidding. I actually don't know. Oh wait, Joanne is actually someone in here.
The two other faculty members, the teachers.
Nancy and Amanda.
Nancy.
Yes, Nancy and Amanda. And
Amanda immediately gave great vibes. Nancy gave bad vibes.
I agree. You can tell that no, wait. I think you have them messed up, right?
No, Amanda is the blonde one. Amanda's the one that gets fired.
Oh, you're right.
Nancy's the
one that teaches poise.
Yeah, Marcia Gay Harden
loves that show that I can't remember the name of.
I Love Lucy.
No, she doesn't like I Love Lucy because she's a communist. She likes what is it?
She said she loves Lucy, even though she's a communist.
Despite the fact, and then Amanda's like, "It's all bullshit."
No, the other show that she liked, it was something Price or.
Yeah, I have it later on in the notes when we get to that scene. But yeah, she's gonna move in with these two teachers, and we get the sense that that Nancy is very prim and proper and annoying.
They each get their own shelf.
Yes, and it's sacrosanct. We each got our own shelf. The items on each shelf are sacrosanct.
What does that mean?
It means that they're very, very important, and it's the utmost of importance to not violate those things. It's a religious term, basically, from the sacrament. Like, it's hallowed, sacred, that kind of thing. Probably Latin. It's probably Latin.
Moving on.
First day of class. Catherine's walking through, and then Amanda tells her, "Be careful, they can smell fear," as she's walking to class. So we get oh no, these girls, all these rich bitches will feast upon your very soul. And they're all so very, very insufferable. Like everyone in that class, that first day, when everyone knows they've just memorized the textbook, the syllabus, and they have everything memorized. And everyone is just so very, very annoying. But they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're going for. The only one who's actually annoying is Julia Stiles.
That's
but
not true.
Maggie Gyllenhaal is being a total bitch, but in a fun way, and I like it. Julia Stiles is being also a total bitch in a bad way, and I don't like it. And then Kirsten Dunst is being the worst, and I like it because she rules.
She's so cool, and I love
annoys me
her.
in so many things that she's in, but I still love her.
Yeah, it's
I
because
love her
she's
so much, but she pisses me the fuck off. in
Yeah.
this
it's because
movie.
she's good at acting.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's very annoying in a lot of movies that she's in. Like
Yeah.
Little Women, so annoying.
You're one
So
true. You
annoying.
cut off your hair. You're one true beauty.
When she burns her book that she's her whatever
Yep.
she's been writing,
Mhm.
such a bitch.
Yep.
In
You didn't.
everything.
I wanted to do Little Women. You didn't want to.
Oh God, I
Could have been lots
cannot.
to say. We could have done a Kirsten Dunst
That's
month.
all I wanted to say about that movie.
Don't worry. We'll watch it for Christmas.
So they have their first day of class, their little first meeting, and Julie Roberts is Catherine is extremely irritated by all these pretentious bitches. Basically, Kirsten Dunst goes, "Oh, well, if you don't have anything for us, we can fuck off," and everybody gets up and leaves. And really,
Yeah.
she does not like that at all. She doesn't like
So
it.
rude. So rude. Also, you can't convince me that every single one of those girls memorized every single piece of artwork in the syllabus by day one. Memorized every single one. Every single.
I think they spent the whole
artist.
entire summer memorizing it because they have nothing better to do,
That's just crazy.
and that's what's expected of them.
All of those paintings on day one. I mean, that's just day one. There's a whole semester of paintings. You tell me they have them all memorized?
No,
Every
it's
artist,
ridiculous.
every year?
I agree with you
There's
that it's
no
completely
way.
ridiculous. There's
I
so
get
much
what they're
about this movie.
I get the point that they're trying to make, that that's all they got going for them, is that they can just sit there and memorize because they've got nothing better to do or whatever. But that's not even true. They got tons of shit to do.
I know they
It's
went
not
too
even their
far.
major.
I know.
Yeah,
just a
that's
random
one
class.
class. Like, there's no way.
Th-
But
it- they
anyway.
it's overboard and unbelievable.
Yeah,
I would have walked out if I was her. I've been like, okay,
I
cool.
would have rage quit.
I don't have
Also,
anything to do here then.
I am so glad that I was born in the 90s.
Why?
This movie just made me so thankful that I was born in the 90s and not the fucking
Oh.
30s.
Did you ask her about it?
No.
She has to go to a meeting with the administration. Is that the end of the first day of class, or is that the second day where she goes, or are we supposed to believe there's been like a mini time jump, or is this literally the first day? Like the end of the first day, they go and like ream her ass. Is that what's happening? Because there was that dude in the class watching, and he gives her that look and walks out after all the kids walk away. So is she already getting pulled in by the admin to get yelled at after her very first day?
Yeah, I think so.
When the secretary is like, when she tells her that they tan in class, and she's like, "Really? What a dumb bitch. What a dumbass." Not
I feel
everybody.
like that's the same day.
I think it is too. Yeah,
I think women aren't allowed to make any mistakes or cause any trouble. So they saw that and they were like, "Bring her in immediately."
I mean, this is good enough time to get into my main problem with this entire movie is, okay, if this was a true story, it would be one thing. But this is a movie that was written probably late 90s, early 2000s when it was actually written. I'm not sure. But it was this era of time where, the Cold War was over. Everything was basically down to, we just have to have equal rights and then the world will be fine. Like, we have to make sure that, women can vote or like have equal rights. Basically, there's like everything else in the world is totally hunky-dory. As long as we have equal rights between women and men, the whole world's great. And they're putting it out there as if everything in what they show in this movie would have been fixed, then everything would be fine. And that these people who've fought this are heroes. But really, they're just creating a whole bunch of Elizabeth Warrens and Hillary Clintons is what's being created here. It's just elite people, elite women who go on to do some of the worst shit in the history of the world. And because they're women, it's good. And I don't like, and I mean, I know it's a true story, but the makers of this movie believe that to be true. And it drives me crazy watching shit like this. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, or am I talking out of my ass?
Jaiden?
I mean, I don't think you can go into assuming that they're gonna come out like Hillary Clinton and say you hate this movie because of that.
Oh, I don't hate this movie. In
Well,
fact,
you just said you hate movies like you hate things like this or whatever. You said you
I
insinuated that.
that's true. I did. I hate I dislike the idea of any sort of like media book, anything that puts it out as if solving these types of problems and just fixes the whole world, because that they don't identify basically that they're like ignore class politics and only focus on identity politics. And I know that sounds very right wing of me, but that's not the from the angle I'm coming from. We kind of did. I mean, the world did for the most part make everything much better as far as, equality from the 50s until 2000. But now, since they didn't fix anything else and didn't worry about anything else, we are where we are now, which is, I would say, probably worse off than it was in 1953 as far as equality goes. Like we're on the downturn. And
Well,
it's
yeah, we're
because,
on the downturn, but I don't think it's as bad as it was. The only thing that like makes me not like the movie as much is yes, that they're all rich. Well, they never specifically say that, but I mean,
oh,
it's
they certainly
implied.
do.
Well, Betty's character, yeah, but the other ones they don't really talk about it as much, I feel. And that, and then also that everybody in this movie is fucking white. Every single person.
Oh, yeah, this is the whitest movie ever made ever in the history of
Yeah,
time. There's
that's
literally 100% white people.
that's another thing. But
False.
okay. There's like a couple background characters that Eli claims to have seen that were not
I
white.
was looking for him. I didn't see any, but I might have missed him.
I saw some.
Okay. I
But
was like, these people are so rich, their slaves are white.
that almost makes it worse though, because like if they were gonna go based off of like if their excuse was okay, well in the 50s, I don't know, maybe this was a segregated school or something. I'm not sure. Which I don't know if they had segregation wherever the school was. I have no idea. I didn't
They
look it up.
didn't. They was
So
just de facto segregated. They didn't even
right.
have to bother segregating it. It
Yeah, so
was.
it makes it worse that the school was not segregated. Obviously, there was other races in the background, but none of them were main characters. That almost makes it worse.
None of the students or faculty were anybody but white. The only place that I would have thought Eli was it the people working at one of the parties. Is that who was not white that you saw?
No, I feel like I saw some students.
I didn't
I
pay
no
attention. I
way.
didn't see it.
I mean, I'm
Where
I'm certain to be corrected, and I will accept my correction being wrong, but I didn't see any, and I was looking out for that too.
But
were
regardless,
teachers?
every single main character was white. So it's purely white feminism, which is a problem. But I still liked the idea of the movie and I related to some things in the movie, obviously. But
Yeah,
there's
I'm not
definitely
against
flaws.
like if whenever these are true stories and it's based on, real shit that was really happening. So I get that. But if it would have been like a book, if not a true story, but just a book written, maybe in the 50s or even in the 60s, and but it's made in the 2000s. So it seems very much coming from the point of view back in the 2000s, which you guys don't remember, of like, hey, we fixed it. All these problems, they're fixed. Here's a look at how we did it back in the 50s and the women who fixed everything and fought against the system. And now the world is perfect. It's 2003 and everything in America is wonderful. We have women in Congress and women judges on the Supreme Court, and everything is great. Abortion is legal. Everything is great. We fixed everything. And it's not, and it wasn't then, and that wasn't necessarily the problem. I mean, these are all valid things that needed to be fixed, of course. But in 2003, they're coming at it from the point of view of, hey, it's done. We've mission accomplished. And that's what annoys me about shit that's a period piece written in the 2000s from the point of view of, hey, look at us. I'm Julia Roberts and I'm super successful, and I wouldn't have been able to do this and have my own production company make this movie back in 1953. And look how far we've come, and mission accomplished. We did it.
Well, I agree, but I also don't agree because I saw something about the person that wrote this movie and I think it was written by a woman. I know it wasn't directed. It was a man, but it said something about how the movie was not a true story, obviously, but it was inspired by her life, like things that happened to her in the 60s.
Yeah, no,
partially.
I
So
get
like I think I understand what you're saying, but I also think that a lot of those things are like they're still, it doesn't have to have been a true story for it to still
No, I know. And
be
I still
good.
do. There's a lot of it to like, and I do agree with a lot of the. I mean, I totally 100% agree in equality for everyone, and everybody should be equal and not be forced to do anything they don't, want to do. And the lives of, servitude to their husband is all complete bullshit. And everything in the actual movie, I agree with. It's more of like the point of view that is unspoken in the movie, just the overall like vibe and message, not even necessarily specifically of this movie itself, just all the kind of media that came out around that time.
Like around when it was released.
Yeah, yeah. Like in the
Mhm.
early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, about how everything was like done and settled. It's like the end of history.
Like done and settled with feminism
Yeah,
or
kind of. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
feminism, equality, everything's good. Like they didn't take into account that the core of the system, like the core of capitalism, is what is bad, and that was what was
Mhm.
forcing everyone into being the way that it was. And as long as the people who were in charge of everything were in agreement that these things shouldn't be like that, then everything would be fine. They didn't Nobody took into account that the whole system needed to be ripped down and rebuilt from the ground up to keep this from happening again, because nobody fixed anything. They just Everybody at the time agreed that it shouldn't be that way, but they didn't make it impossible for it to come back again, which is why we're in the situation we're in now,
Yeah.
and didn't go any step further than that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So it's that point of view that just frustrates me through movies like this and this genre of movie. But outside of that, I very much enjoyed the movie and the performances, and I liked the way it was shot and everything like that. So I don't dislike this movie as a movie. So I just wanted to make that clear going forward. So all the shit talking that I do is not like me hating the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, did anyone else feel like a lot of people in this movie should have been gay?
I think they probably were.
Like,
Because
I'm sorry, you're telling me those two friends were not gay?
Connie and Giselle were the first time I watched it, and even the second time, I was like, okay, so they're a couple. And
Yeah,
I
I thought that
would have
immediately.
loved the movie so much more if they were, because
Yeah.
they looked so much like a couple. Like when she was kissing her on the couch, they were like really close in that one
Yeah.
scene. I was like, oh, cool, they're like a couple.
I was like, oh, she's gay. Like, okay, awesome.
But I
no.
was
Well,
disappointed.
was there not kind of like a hint of that at the end? I mean, we'll get to it at the end, but we'll save it for
think
later.
that there's a hint of Giselle being bi. I think she's definitely bi. I think,
She's
I mean,
gotta be.
maybe they're gay, but I think Giselle is definitely bisexual, because I feel like I feel like she's in love with Catherine, not gonna lie.
Yeah, for sure. But let's rewind a bit, because we're jumping way ahead.
Mm.
We got Catherine going to face the music about her first day of class and letting the students walk all over her. So she's getting grilled, and they ask her, she does her little thing about how they give her shit about Picasso. And she was right about Picasso. He is very famous. Everybody does know about Picasso. He's probably the most famous guy. And it's weird to think that he is like still alive when this movie is taking place and still kind of new, which is weird. You think when you think about Picasso, you think about him like back at the same as like Michelangelo and shit, right? Don't you? Like Van Gogh.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I was like super confused for a second.
Yeah, Picasso was like the 20s, 30s, 40s, and like
Yeah.
50s and 60s and shit. So
Wow.
I don't think he died until the 60s, and I'm totally talking out of my ass, and I'll have to do another correction in next week's
it was
episode.
the 70s.
Did he die in the 70s?
I think so.
Yeah, he was pretty contemporary, especially like he wasn't even like, he was very subversive at this time, and people thought he sucked, which is funny. And they ask her if she's you know, when you're in the Sistine Chapel, isn't it awesome? And she goes, I've never even been to Europe. And they're completely aghast about how
Yeah.
their art teacher has never even been to Europe,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was pretty funny. And she starts, oh yeah, she goes home and she's totally losing her shit. And Julie Roberts is the best, so good at cry face. She has the best cry face in the business, I think. About to cry. Her and Andrew Scott are they're the king and queen of about to cry face.
Mm.
And she calls Paul, John Slattery, aka Roger Sterling. You guys haven't watched Mad Men yet either, have you?
Mm-mm.
You
I've
guys
watched
should.
bits and pieces.
You should definitely watch. If you like this, you should definitely watch Mad Men. It's basically this is. Mad
I've
Men
wanted
would.
to, but you know.
You got to watch Vampire Diaries over again.
No, I'm talking about you know who in that show who I can't stand.
John Hamm.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't even know
Elizabeth
her
Moss.
name. I don't want to talk about it.
But the thing about her in Mad Men is that she's supposed to suck.
Wait, why don't you want to talk about it?
Because I just hate her.
She hates Elizabeth Moss.
Oh,
And
why?
I also
She gives me the creeps.
yeah, but she's supposed to give you the creeps in Mad Men. Like that's kind of the idea of her character. So it works
She's
in that
on the
movie.
same level as Jake Gyllenhaal for me. Those two are just.
I get what you're saying about Elizabeth Moss, but I love Jake Gyllenhaal. So.
Oh, yeah. I remember talking about this. Yeah, there's something about her face.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it makes me feel bad when I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale. But...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said I get told I look like January Jones a lot.
You do. You have the vibes of January Jones. Congratulations. You're welcome.
Who's your favorite character in this movie? Mine's Connie.
I love Connie.
Baby.
I love Connie so much. I love the actress so much. I've always loved her, and I don't know why, but
yeah, Connie's my favorite too.
She's great.
Mm-hmm.
I have some
So
stuff to say about her later when we get to a certain part of the movie with her in it. But this is where we find out that Amanda's a lesbian. Julie Roberts calls Roger Sterling and yada yada yada. And then it's that's when we get the Lucy is a communist scene.
Wait, no, we gotta talk about her talking to Paul and him being a complete asshole.
You thought he was being an asshole? I thought he was being pretty supportive.
No, he literally said, as soon as she said anything, he said, "I hate to say I told you so." Like, fuck off.
I thought he was joking around.
No, dude, you think a guy who, fast forward, shoves a ring on her finger and proclaims himself to be her fiance would not be saying it in a shitty way? He was definitely saying it in a shitty way, like, yeah, I told you so, you fucking idiot. You shouldn't have gone. Because he obviously didn't want her to go.
I didn't think it was that bad. I think later, the part later.
It was a subtle jab, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted her to go, but I don't think he thought that she would be bad at doing the job. I think he was a jab.
No, but I don't think that that's what he was insinuating, and that's not why I think he's an asshole. I think just saying that to somebody who's obviously upset is just an asshole thing to say.
Yeah.
I kind of took it as him trying to cheer her up.
Yeah, because you're the type of person that would say that.
That's true. So real.
That's true.
You saying that was him trying to cheer her up, that is so something you would say.
Yeah. Guilty as charged. I accept that. And I won't defend it anymore. I'm a piece of shit. I'm sorry. So yes, he's an asshole. I'm a piece of shit. And Lucy is not a communist, and her hair's not even red. That's fake too.
Damn.
Her companion died in May. We have a lesbian alert. Which you know, it's not progressive for 2003, but it is progressive for 1953. That she would be cool with that.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, kind of interesting, which is true. It's another things that I've read that everything was getting much more progressive from the 20s up through the 30s and through World War II. Things were getting a lot more progressive, and then everything sort of like the same cycle that we're in now, where everything got more progressive leading up to the swing back during COVID, leading up to Trump getting elected again.
Mm-hmm.
where everything started swinging back to the right. Things were getting
Yeah.
better. And then when the Korean War started and McCarthyism started in the 1950, 1951, everything started going way to the right, and media started going way to the right, and you couldn't. But people were being way more cool,
Is
like
that why
leading
they
up to
call
that.
Gen Z Zoomers? Because we're kind of like how boomers were during that time?
Yes, everyone calls Gen Z Zoomers because y'all are coded kind of the same, but Gen Z's better.
For now.
Yeah, the boomers were just little kids. Like these
What
girls.
was the generation that was like hippies and
That's boomers, but that wasn't. So
that was later?
that's the hippies were the late 60s, like starting from like
Mhm.
the early mid 60s up through the late 60s.
Okay, well, like, okay, sorry. Forrest Gump. What time period is that?
Forrest Gump was a
70s?
little kid in like 1955, like when he's a little
Mhm.
kid, because Elvis stays at his house and he teaches Elvis how to dance. And that was before Elvis got popular. So
Mhm.
it was like he was a little kid right during this time. So by the time Forrest Gump was old, that was during Vietnam, because he went to Vietnam.
Mhm.
Right, so
So
that's boomers.
Forrest Gump's a boomer, yes, but he's a
So,
little kid during this time period.
right, but boomers were kind of like the revolutionary, like, at that
Yeah.
time.
The reason why boomers are called boomers is because they're the kids of the dudes that came back from World War II, and there was a huge baby boom. Like everybody that
Mhm.
came back from World War II, they got good jobs because they went to college from the GI Bill, and they started, buying houses and moving into suburbia and having a bunch of kids. So there was a baby boom post World War II.
Baby
And so
boomers.
they're baby boomers. That's where that name's derived from.
Yeah.
So it's the kids of the people who fought in World War II. So these people, all the kids in this movie are, I believe it's called the silent generation, because they're
Yeah.
not the ones who fought in World War II, but they were born before World War II started.
Mhm.
So they're the generation between the greatest generation and the baby boomers.
The whole time during this movie, I felt like I was just watching a bunch of grandmas before their grandmas, which is exactly what was happening.
Taking grandma school.
But like, you know what I mean? Like they're so grandma coded. Like the house that she's staying in and everything was like floral, like everything,
For real.
like the bed, the walls, the pictures on the walls was like grandma flowers.
Well, that was what
Yeah.
was in style then,
Yeah,
Shit.
I know.
And it's
Also,
back.
Nancy is very grandma, and it was her parents' house.
Mm,
She said that it was her parents' house.
Yeah, she
yeah.
grew up in that house, and then they moved and retired. I don't think
Mhm.
she's supposed to be as old.
As
I
she
think she's
looks.
supposed to be the same age as Julia Roberts, actually.
Mhm.
I think Marcia Gay Harden is older than Julia Roberts, or she just looks older. I don't know. But I don't think she's supposed to be inside the movie much older than Julia Roberts is, because we'll get to it later, but the guy that she implies died in the war would put her right at the same age as Julia Roberts.
Yeah, I think they're around the same age.
Yeah, they're
I feel like if she didn't have that hairstyle, she'd look about the same age.
yeah. Marcia Gay Harden just has an older looking face.
Yeah.
I think Amanda is older than both of them, because she's been
Yeah,
there for 20 something years.
She looks a lot older.
And then we get a little scene of Catherine going through all the student files in her bed, and she's just going, bitch.
She
I hate
just
this
has
bitch.
access to the files,
Yeah, it is weird, right? That she would just have like, hey, can I just have all the files of
all the
the
files
entire
of my
record, and then just
students.
keep them for weeks and weeks and weeks? Because there's that scene later where has all the files there, and she's like, oh, do you have my files? So she still has the files way later in the movie. So
Like those students are in other classes.
I know the administration is just cool with her just taking the files from
Maybe they get copies.
they look like the
They
original
look like,
ones.
yeah.
Maybe they're her own files that she made.
Did they have
That's
copiers
true.
back then?
They had
Is that a
mimeographs, I
stupid
think.
question?
I think they had the roller ones but you couldn't just make a copy. Oh, and then it's another art class, and she shocks them with a painting of meat. And we get her whole turn of where she's like, but is it any good? There's no wrong answer.
Everyone's just bullying Betty the whole time. I loved that. Just being so rude to her.
Because every other person, all the other girls are totally in love now with Catherine.
Yeah.
They get the vibe and they like it. But Betty is stuck in her ways and doesn't want anything to do with it.
Dude, fuck Betty.
I would. What'd you say?
What? I said fuck Betty.
Oh, I thought you said you would fuck Betty.
I mean, I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, she just angered me the entire time. She's so like set on just being a bitch.
And she was. She does. God, Kirsten Dunst does. She's so good. I love her. She's so good at making you hate her character, but she does such a good job of it. You can't get mad at her.
Oh, I can.
I mean, you can get mad at the character, but you can't. You don't hate Kirsten Dunst. You're like, she somehow pulls off like being charming and you hate her character at the same time. It's a very fine line that she walks, and she's really good at it. Mm-hmm. She does in the slide, she shows a picture of her mom and she goes, this is just a picture taken of my mom. And they're like, okay, cool. She's very pretty. And they go, well, what if I told you Ansel Adams took this picture? Would this make it fine art? Would it make it good? Mm-hmm. And I learned recently from my dad, and my dad's losing his mind, but evidently my grandpa, his dad, he was a really good photographer, like an amateur photographer, and he would hang out at places with Ansel Adams in California.
I think you told us this.
Did I tell? I think I just told that to you, Jaiden, just when you were there over the summer.
I haven't heard this.
Yeah, so my grandpa would be, I don't know if he was like friends with them or if he was just at the same place Ansel Adams was at, but I guess my grandpa would hang out taking pictures of shit with Ansel Adams. So that's pretty cool. Do you know who Ansel Adams is, Jaiden?
I have an Ansel Adams picture above my bed. It's not an original, of course.
Do you know Darian? Have you heard of him before, Darian? Do you know who it is? No. He's like the most famous landscape photographer of all time.
Let me see.
The reason I have the picture is because it was originally Mom gave me the picture because she found it at like a thrift store or something. It was a huge picture of Marilyn Monroe. You know, the one where she's like lifting weights. Then I took the picture out for some reason a couple years ago, and I was like, oh, kind of like this picture. And it was an Ansel Adams picture, and I just have kept it like that. I don't know what happened to the other one.
He's very famous. He's probably I would say he's the most famous photographer of all time. If you had to put him on a list, he would be the top.
Very cool.
I'm reading my notes. Sorry. Yes, Eli, spit.
With how they are going over what art is and who defines it and whatever, what do you guys think is art? Like, you look at something and you're like, hell yeah.
I don't understand art. And that's one thing I took away from this movie. Because she was asking these questions and I'm like, I have no idea what makes that good or not.
Same. I'm not an art person. Like, I could not go to an art museum and stand there for as long as people stand there and look at.
No, and they're just like, oh, the brush strokes and the way it flows together. And I don't get it. And not to jump ahead, but when they go later, they go to like that abandoned whatever, and the guy like pulls out that big painting. Who was it again?
Jackson Pollock. I have a whole chunk that I want to say about Jackson Pollock.
Sorry, but like everyone was just like, wow, like looking at it, and I'm like, that is the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, I feel like I could do that. I know I could do that.
A lot of art that's like good. Like I can tell that it's good. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, like this makes me feel this way or that way. Like it looks good. Maybe that makes me shallow. I don't know.
No.
The way that I think about art, and the older I get, and it's not, I'm not just talking about art, paintings, just art in general, music, movies, anything, is if that piece of art, whether it be a painting or music or a movie or anything, if it makes you feel a certain way, then to you it's good.
Yeah. It's
and that's really,
subjective.
it's 100% subjective. I mean, there's objective qualities of how well something is done, like brushstrokes or something like that, or how accurate a picture is, you know, a painting or whatever. But most 95% of it is completely subjective. Like there could be like a movie that is very well made as far as the way it looks and it's shot and edited and everything, but it might be fucking boring and a piece of shit.
I
If
think.
you,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, that's all.
For me personally, I think I don't really like abstract art. That's like when it's just the
Yeah, well, I'll say my
strokes
little
random.
Jackson Pollock thing is I completely agree with you. I mean, it looks fine, but just because he is the first one to come up with the idea of splattering a bunch of fucking paint all over a goddamn giant canvas, just because he came up with the idea, he gets so much credit for being innovative. But just because you come up with a bad idea doesn't make you a genius. I mean, there's probably lots of people who could have. I mean, I feel like most of the credit that Jackson Pollock gets for being like this artistic genius is because he came up with that idea first and was bold enough to do it. But it's stupid. It fucking sucks. I completely agree with you about Jackson
Yeah,
Pollock.
I don't get it.
I mean, the way that he did it is pretty cool. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen, if you know how he made those paintings, is he would hang, and I don't know if this is how he did all of it, but there's a movie with about him. I haven't even actually watched the movie. I've just seen clips of it, but he would put paint on I don't know if it was on a brush or but he would put it on a string over and then put the canvas on the ground like flat down, and he would like be on a ladder or scaffolding, and he would just basically swing the string across, and it would just randomly drip paint all over the whole fucking thing.
I've seen a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah, they're getting it from him. He invented that technique. And
so you're not even doing anything.
Yeah, he's not
Looks,
yeah, exactly. It's like random chance.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
teach their
fine.
own.
It doesn't.
But
I don't think that it doesn't look cool, but I don't think it's like this huge innovative genius thing that he came up with.
there's this really big painting in my operatory at work, and it's just like a bunch of random like swirls of blue, and it's like fine, like it's fine, it whatever. But so many of my patients are like, "Wow, I love that! Like, wow, it's man, that is so good. I love the art here." And I'm just like, huh? Oh, yeah.
You Philistine.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just not. I mean, I like art. I feel like I'm an artsy kind of person. I just don't really get art.
Remember when we went to the museums in New York and we were looking at, the Rembrandts and shit at the Metropolitan Museum of Art?
Yeah.
I think a lot of, I mean, I thought it was very cool. Like I was standing there looking at stuff, but for me, it was, I don't know, 20% like this is good art. And the rest of it was like, this shit is like 400 years old. And I'm literally standing at the thing that they made that long ago. And this famous guy, touched this and actually made this thing that I'm like a foot in front of, and it's like right there. I'm not seeing it on the internet or in a book or whatever. I'm like looking at the real thing.
Yeah,
so I kind of get the dude who's like, have you been to the Sistine Chapel? Or like, when you're at the Sistine Chapel and looking at, so I kind of get his point of view, but that doesn't necessarily make it any better than something else just because it's 500 years old. That just makes it cool to see something that's 500 years old.
Yeah. Look at anything that's 500 years old. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's how it is for me too. It's more so like, I don't know, it's interesting to look at, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to sit there and try to see what emotion that brushstroke painting gives me. It doesn't give me any emotions. It's cool to look at. I'll pass by and look at it, but I'm not going to stand there. Because, like in a lot of movies and things, I see people just standing there looking at it.
No, that's what people really do. Like every time I've ever gone to an art museum, people are just like standing there staring at these like very, very simple paintings.
Yeah, I understand if it's like obviously something intricate and there's a story going on, but a lot of them are not like that.
I went to I was in Vegas one time and they had a Rembrandt exhibition, like a traveling Rembrandt. I think it was Rembrandt, Impressionist painting. And it was really cool to see that stuff in real life. The way that he kind of changed things to make everything seem like it was blurry and paint it that way, I thought was very cool. So I
Yeah.
do get the standing in front of a painting, looking at it, because it is pretty fascinating to be like, how do these guys think of that and come up with this technique and get it out there? So I do think that stuff's cool, especially, Van Gogh stuff is cool,
Yeah.
like Starry Night and everything. And I do get it, but it is definitely subjective for sure.
I think also, unfortunately, living in a period of time where we have access to all kinds of art, like online, I feel like I go to museums and I'm just like, I don't want to say like I'm not impressed, because it's impressive to be able to paint something like that, but I feel like I see so much art every single day that it just doesn't like hit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, now AI can just make the best art ever. So we get to see so much wonderfully created AI art that Darian thinks is the best, and that
Well, no,
all
I'm not
artists
saying
should be.
AI.
I know, kidding.
Fuck off. I'm saying just like there's so many talented artists in the world, like so many. So it's just like it just doesn't feel special anymore, if that makes sense, which sucks.
I think that's a mindset thing.
It's a hot take
Yeah.
right there. That's a hot take, but I stand by it.
I feel like when I think about art, and I also think about like, oh, someone painted this beautiful picture and it's so beautiful. But for me, I feel like I get the same feeling that you guys get, like, oh, someone painted this, that's not very impressive. But like when I see like Frank Lloyd Wright's work, like all of his architecture, like he has some impressive stuff, and I just like that's something that I'm like, wow, like
Yeah.
someone made that. And I feel like it's not just one artist or like one architect that made this beautiful thing, but it's all the people that, got together and they all built it together. I don't know, that's just something that I think about. And it makes me laugh because people will pay, if you guys look at the picture that I just sent you, an undisclosed person that I went to their home, they paid over $250,000 for this oil painting of an owl to get painted. And that was ridiculous to me because that's like, you could build a house with that kind of money and it just looks like a normal picture. But this guy's like in love with this painting. And like, it was ridiculous to find out that that's how much you paid for it.
It's
Some
pretty
people
cool owl
have
picture.
so much money they don't know what to do with it.
I feel like I definitely feel the same way about architecture though. Like I could sit there and I could walk around a house and even just an empty house and be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Like that's how the way that other people feel about art is the way I feel about architecture.
Well, I think architecture is art. I
It
think a
is.
lot of
Yeah.
things are art.
Well,
you know?
okay, yeah, but like
You just got to find the thing that,
paintings or
it
whatever
just goes
that
back to
speaks to you.
the thing that speaks to you. So paintings isn't the medium that, hits you
Yeah.
in your gut that makes you feel good. It makes you feel a certain way. So, and I'm sure there's somebody who can go look at a Van Gogh painting and get that feeling deep down in their soul that, that it's overwhelming to them. And then they can go walk through a Frank Lloyd Wright house and not give a shit.
Yeah.
True.
And that's, that's cool. That's what's so fun about it. And that's why AI is so fucking evil, is because it's just taking everything that everybody ever made ever and regurgitating out a bunch of bullshit.
I feel like music is the medium that speaks the most to me with art.
That's how it used to be. That's how it used to be for me too.
Is it
No.
movies for you now?
It is. It is movies now. I still appreciate music, but I don't listen to music nearly as much as I used to.
Yeah.
It's lost
Music
its luster for me.
Music doesn't really, it does. I have to be in the mood for it to like make me feel anything, I guess, but it does set like the tone for, I guess, how I'm feeling, or like I don't know, like I don't. It's not. I'm not gonna listen to a song and it's gonna make me cry or anything like that, or make me be like, oh my god. But there are some songs that are like, wow, you know.
I do
Yeah.
know. There's still
But it's
songs that do that for me.
not as much as interior design or architecture and things like that, or even movies. I think movies more for me than music, honestly.
Songs will make me cry if they're like tied to something emotional or like remind me of something emotional. But like I don't know, I feel like I often listen to music and it makes me feel like I don't know what the right word is. Like there's like a I don't know, like something powerful behind it.
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, yeah. Like it just makes me want to like jump out of my body in a way. Or like it just makes me want to close my eyes and like just drift off and just feel every note.
There are moments where it does make me feel like that. Specifically, the last time that I feel like I really felt like that was when I was watching Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, the music in that, I need to listen to more music that's like that because I really like that a lot.
And
I feel
that's what
like,
makes movies so good, is because it's got everything combined into one thing.
yeah.
Very true.
And the interplay between all of it to tug at your little emotions, your little heartstrings.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that about like bluesy music, like jazz or soul music. It's just like I feel like it like makes my stomach turn and like it makes me think about like damn, someone really just put this crazy amount of effort into making this and it sounds amazing and it
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel a certain type of way. But yeah, for sure I understand that.
Do you guys know who William Holden is? Because that is the guy that they think Catherine was having an affair with and why she had to leave California in the next scene when they're sitting in their little dorm room talking about it.
I don't, and I was wondering about this.
Yeah.
He's the star of Sunset Boulevard and many other movies, but he's the main guy in that. So he was the number one of the most popular actors at the time when this movie was taking place.
That's a
And
good
so
movie.
we have their little scene of all of them talking, and I think who says, was it Giselle goes, I think I look a little like her, and they're like, who? Catherine Watson.
Yeah.
And they talk about that. And then we get a scene of Amanda, Julia Stiles' character, trying to make it through the door before they close the gates. And then Topher Grace sticks his head through the door and they do a little makeout session. And I maybe want to throw up in my mouth a little bit because I don't like either one of them. And to watch them kiss is gross.
Wait,
But
That was probably brutal for you.
It was. And then there's they got the dorm mom, I guess, ringing that giant bell about going to bed. And like, seriously, do you think that was true? Do you think every night these seniors in college have some woman going around ringing a bell, making them go to bed? I'd like to think not.
I could see it.
Women like Catherine Watson don't get married because they don't want to. Do you think they're implying that she's she's trying to say that she's a lesbian, or that she just is subversive and she's so, progressive that she's not getting married on purpose?
Aggressive.
Yeah, I think so too. And this is where we learn that Giselle is banging McNulty.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the pivotal scene of Connie finds Giselle's birth control from Amanda the nurse. And Betty freaks the fuck out and says it's against the law.
What contraceptive was that? Because I thought it
know-
was pills at first, but then it didn't look like pills.
I think that's what I thought too, but I think I looked it up and I think it's a diaphragm, which is pretty crazy that a lady condom is against the law.
Yeah.
This is the
That is
scene where
crazy.
I thought Connie and Giselle were gay, by the way.
Yeah. Because they were acting real gay.
Yeah.
Even gentlemen have dicks, you guys, just so you know that.
Yeah. That was a solid line.
It was. And then we got Betty at a typewriter again, narking Amanda out in the school paper.
This fucking bitch.
That fucking bitch. And then we get the craziest part of this movie is the hoops and buggy race. Ridiculous.
That's the craziest part.
Well, that a bunch of, these aren't children. These are early 20s adult women doing a hoop and buggy race. Pretty ridiculous. It's not 1820 anymore. They have more. They have fucking TV and movies they can be watching. They don't have to be rolling
God
fucking
forbid
hoops.
they try to get a little exercise.
Well, they have synchronized swimming classes.
Oh yeah, that was wild. They were all very good.
That was wild, but we're not there yet. So
This is where we find out that Amanda was giving out the contraceptive.
Giving out lady condoms.
well, that was in the scene before when they were.
Oh, this is where Catherine and what's her name were talking about it though.
Yes,
Mm.
because McNulty, it's Bill, right?
Mm-hmm. He
Bill
reminds
has-
me of Luigi Mangione. A little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. Did you know he's British or Irish? He's
Well, he's in The Crown, so I kind of did.
okay. Catherine looks at the hit piece that Betty wrote, and she's just aghast. And then
Yeah.
this is also where we learn that Betty's mother is the president of the Alumni Association. And this is also where we learn that, where Catherine learns that Bill sleeps with his students. And everybody's so normal about that.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's very weird. And then we're at Betty's house, and her cunt mother is planning the wedding.
Her mother is a cunt.
She's the
She's-
absolute worst. She is the
Makes
worst
sense
villain.
why- Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense why Betty is the way that she is.
Yeah, she's by far the worst one in this entire movie by a million miles, because she's basically the driver of every bad thing that happens to anyone in this movie.
She's setting feminism back every time
This-
she opens her mouth.
This
She's
made
not even
me
setting it
hate
back,
Betty
she's-
a little bit less.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, made me understand her. But then it's like, Betty, you don't need to go take your problems and continue the cycle of being a hateful.
Well, you are a product
Woman.
of your environment.
yeah. I mean, she threw her up against a wall.
Oh, it's crazy,
I
but
know,
I mean,
just over the
Her
fucking
brain
poem.
hasn't fully developed yet. She'll get there. She
Yeah.
did get
yeah,
there.
I guess you're right.
I mean, it
Mhm.
only takes her like another month to totally flip
Yeah.
180. So,
Yeah, true. I'll let it go.
and there's that little scene where her mom's like, "You have to make him think that it's his idea," which comes back later in a pretty funny way. And then we're back. This is where Amanda's in President Carr's office getting fired. And I feel like the president could have done more, but at least she was generally on her side, and kind of her hands were tied. I mean, she could have done more, but
Mhm.
maybe not. She probably would have got fired herself if she tried to do anything more. But there was the part where she's like, Amanda's like, 5 years ago. No, that might have been when she has the conversation with her back at home. But she does bring up like 5 years ago, nobody would have given a shit about this. No one would have cared. But now that McCarthyism is in full swing, there's no subversiveness that can be tolerated whatsoever. Sound familiar? To our curtain day,
A little too
Yeah.
familiar.
where she goes, "I promise not to appear liberal." With that
She
very
was part
much.
of Antifa.
She was.
She created it actually.
Which is crazy that it's crazy how fast everything swung from in that time period. You guys should really dig into that whole post World War II
Yeah.
situation. It's very fascinating.
Hmm.
I won't give a history lesson on Soviet US
Thank
relations
you.
post World War II
Thank you.
right now, but it's a very fascinating point in
I
time.
mean, learned about it in school a little bit.
Not
did
really.
we?
Dive in
though?
more.
You didn't
Eh,
really
true.
learn about it. You didn't.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
didn't learn the reasons behind why everything happened.
Right.
Basically, boils down to rich people.
No, no history
I really want to.
lessons. We are already running way over on
You're
time.
right. You're right. Okay.
Let's
so
go.
anyway, yeah, capitalism's bad, and that's why everything was happening. So we'll move on. She gets back to the house. Catherine gets back, and they're doing the marriage lessons. So she looks. She's like, when they ask her to stay, and she's like, fuck off, and takes off and goes to the bar. Rides her back to the Blue Sharp Inn, and Bill's there, and they have the little conversation about Amanda getting fired. They're both pretty bummed about that. And then she goes, "Are you staying?" And she goes, "How long do marriage lectures take?" And he goes, "Let's get this girl a booth." And then we're back to the marriage lectures. And there's a whole, and I kind of feel like the scene is set up to make it look ridiculous that any of this is happening. And it is ridiculous on a superficial level. But if you stop to think about it, they're actually learning important stuff for their bullshit life that they're about to lead, about, the scenario about what you would do when your husband brings these people home and what you should do. Like, basically, they're learning how to kiss ass and get ahead in life,
Mm-hmm.
which is, when you think about it, kind of a, an important thing for them to know for the life that they are going to want, that they're going into. Like, they're getting lessons on getting ahead in life,
Mm-hmm.
which is more than you learn a lot of things in school. It's a practical lesson that's useful, as opposed to, math that you can just do on a calculator.
Yeah, but then Nancy says, you may all be here for an easy A, but the grade that matters the most is the one he gives you, not me. And that part.
No, it's fucked. But when you just stop and think about, it's kind of makes sense that she's actually teaching them real life practical information for a dumb bullshit life, but it is the life that they are going to be living. And these are things that they're going to need to know how to do to be terrible. I mean, not saying any of the things that are overall arching are good, but for the lives that they're leading and they're going into, she's at least giving them useful information for the shitty life that they're going to be living. Do you guys ever see that coffee commercial from back in the 50s where the wife is afraid of her husband beating her because her coffee's so bad? It's a pretty fucking crazy commercial, but it's real. And she's like, I think the husband like hits her in the commercial. I might be making that part up, but yeah, look it up when you get a chance. It's pretty wild. She's like, my coffee is so bad and my husband's gonna kick my ass if I don't get better coffee.
Oh my God.
So it was real. The only grade that does matter is the one that the husband gives back in the 50s for sure. Because they could just beat your ass and it didn't nobody cared. And then we're back to the bar, and she asked McNulty if he learned Italian in the war, and he says yes, but he quickly changes the subject, asking if she has a boyfriend. I wonder why he changed the subject so quickly. Foreshadowing. I wonder why, because he's a big liar. They say you're progressive, a forward thinker, are you? And I don't know what she says, but
Said
he
there
goes,
are a lot of labels here, I've noticed.
oh yeah. And then he goes, well, you just have to find a way to work with them. We all had to. And then we're back home, and Amanda's packing up her shit because she got fired. And this is where she says 5 years ago, they would have just slapped my wrist.
Justice for Amanda.
But now there's a committee for the protection of everything.
Mm-hmm. Which is what... It was the Committee Against Un-American Activities. That was what McCarthyism was. That was what the thing was called that he ran. And she's like, basically says, I should have left here after Josephine died because there's nothing left here to love, which is pretty sad. And then they're having... the next scene is she's got her shit set up in some crazy no man's land part of the campus that they just let her take over to her giant new office with art everywhere, which when you think about it for a second is pretty wild. Even though they want her to follow the rules, she doesn't get much pushback on anything that she's actually doing.
Yeah.
Like, they just let her take over a giant warehouse to turn it into her second classroom. They let her take all the files that she wants. Nobody gives a shit about any of that.
Yeah, they kind of have the conversation and then just look the other way.
Yeah. They're like, you better not show any modern art, but you can have this entire building for yourself if you want. We're not going to say anything about that. Joan shows up and she's mad that she got a C. And she basically says, you're regurgitating opinions from someone else's book, and I want you to have your own opinion. So they're really hammering that plot point. Gives her another chance, and this is where she has her file on the desk, and they talk about her wanting to go to Yale Law School.
This part made me really sad.
The part about going to Yale Law School in general, or this particular scene?
Because the part about going to Yale, because she said, when she asked her, she's like, what law school are you going to go to? And she said, I hadn't thought about that. After I graduate, I'm getting married. And then Catherine says, and then Joan says, and then I'll be married.
Which, I kind of don't blame her. I would rather just be a kept woman whose only responsibilities were being a bitch and not having to go to law school and be a lawyer.
When was she a bitch?
She's going to grow into one. I'm not saying she's being one now, but once she's that wife and has all the kids, she's just going to turn into Betty's mom.
Yeah.
In that life path. Betty comes in and wakes up Joan and tells her that Topher Grace is looking at engagement rings. Dun, dun, dun.
Why would she spoil that for her?
No,
I know.
That pissed me off.
Yeah, why would she wake her up in the middle of the night?
First of all, you woke me up.
Because
Second
Betty
of
has
all, you ruined my engagement.
everything Betty is selfish and everything has to be about her. She has to be the center of attention and ruin
She
everyone
has to be
else's
the
good times.
one. She has to be the one to reveal the good news.
We will be best friends. Our husbands will be best friends. Our kids will be best friends.
Was Tommy was Tommy her brother, Betty's brother? Because at Betty's wedding, he walks with Betty's mom down the aisle. And then she says that when she's telling her that he is getting a ring, she said that we'll be sisters or whatever. So I was confused on if that was her brother or not.
Oh, maybe.
like it.
I didn't catch that, but maybe that is what it is.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good catch, if that's true.
Good catch if true.
Good catch, if true.
Which makes him an even bigger piece of shit later on. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Can't
Then
wait
they're-
to talk about that. I've been waiting to talk about that all night.
They're taking an exam in art class now, and it seems like a pretty hard fucking exam. They have to they have like 45 minutes to write comparisons between all these different pictures and then write a little paper about it all in 45 minutes. And then she slides Joan the Yell application, which why could, I mean, it's a movie, so whatever, but it seems like a weird time to give it to her, like at the beginning of a test.
Yeah, now she's all
Like-
in her head about it.
Yeah, here's some stress. Here's some shit to think about right now.
Additional stress.
Hope you do good at this test. And then we're at Betty's wedding. And, it's a pretty nice wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine's surprised that she got invited, but, who wasn't invited? Every single person in the entire school is here. And have you guys ever heard of the phrase keeping up with the Joneses?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know.
Not?
No, I have, yeah. I just wondering
Okay.
if it is propagated, if it's still something that happened that you guys, because I don't think
I
I've
don't-
heard it in
I don't
like
know
a
what
very
it
long
means,
time.
but I've heard it be said.
Oh, it essentially, what it means or what it meant is that, or at least what it's been turned into, is what it's usually referenced is like if your neighbors get a pool, you have to get a pool because you're keeping up with the Joneses.
You're keeping up
Is
with
that
like
why-
the family that's getting all the
Right,
nice things.
right.
The
Is that why the
expectations of
Kardashians
society.
was named Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Was that like
Yes, yes.
I never realized that until just now.
So
Good catch
apparently,
if true.
no, that one's definitely true. So McNulty's like, this is the family of the people that phrase was invented for. So they're very rich family. And then Giselle walks by and like seductively touches McNulty's arm in a very sexy way. Oh. This wedding is insane though. They got horns and everything.
Oh,
Not
the
even
Wedding has
poem?
horns.
just the wedding, like the trumpets. Bah, 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 bah.
That's
And then
how
we're-
you know they're rich.
Very rich. And then we're
Yeah.
at the wedding reception,
Mhm.
which seems like a pretty good time if you're effectively a billionaire. And Bill changes the place setting so he can sit next to Catherine, and he orders a Jack and Ginger, which was one of my favorite drinks when I was still a drinker. And then the band is playing Mona Lisa. So, and Bill goes, they're playing our song, which is a very ham-fisted way of getting the titular line into this movie, if you ask me. And then they just really hammer the Mona Lisa theme about 5,000 more times the rest of the movie. And I still don't understand why. I don't get it.
But also the part where, is this where Catherine and Bill are dancing, right? And then Connie looks at them and says she's too old for him. That's this time, right?
Yeah. It's during the reception for sure, yes.
And then Giselle says, no, she's too smart for him. This is where I feel like she kind of is in love with her. I think she's kind of in love with both of them.
Yeah, I took it more of that she's
Or she,
Not-
okay, what I said was she's in love with her, or she just really admires her.
yeah, I think it's more of she wants to be her
Yes.
rather than
But I
wants to be with her. Like she's
Yeah.
infatuated with her as a role model is kind of
Mhm.
how I took it rather than a romantic thing.
I guess I just want her to be in love with her.
Yeah, I get that. They'd make a cute couple.
Oh, and then this is where we see Cousin.
Yes.
Cousin.
Eben Moss Bacharach. We first see him, he's playing bread football with Topher Grace. So that was fun.
The only
But-
man in this movie that shouldn't kill himself.
I agree. Everybody
Wait,
else,
cousin or Topher?
cousin.
Cousin.
Oh yeah, for sure. There was a second where I thought maybe he should, but
Yeah.
No, he didn't do anything wrong ever. It was all Betty's fault. Everything that happened.
no, I know, but we didn't know that
No, I know.
at first. I thought it was
No,
Steve.
yeah. At first, when they were out, and then he was being all weird and like not trying to be seen. That part was sketchy.
But we
Super
can't.
weird.
We can't skip past the one little tiny scene that I thought was pretty
We
funny,
can't.
where Betty does a really bad job of doing what her mom said to do about making him think it was his idea, and she goes, "You said it was your idea to read it." She just literally tries to like Jedi mind trick him, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I don't know, I didn't. What are you talking about?" Like, I don't
That's
think
funny.
that's how you're supposed to do it. She wasn't paying very good attention at marriage lectures, because I think that was what she was. That was the kind of thing. It's like, you got to be a little more sly. You can't just go like, "No, you said that you wanted to do that.
No, you
Don't you
wanted
remember
to.
that? Don't you remember that?"
Honestly, good for her for trying.
Yeah.
Probably works a lot of the
Worked.
time.
And then we got Nancy's getting all fucked up and hitting on the bartender and comparing him to her ex.
That was so awkward.
Yeah,
I
I put in my
know.
notes.
I
poor
hated
Nancy,
that.
She's so insane.
She's completely insane, just going on this whole like it's kind of it's pretty funny little twist where you're thinking the whole time that he died in the war, but really he just like dumped her ass.
At one point, she said, I had a fella, Lenny. You remind me of him so much. He had this funny little thing where his two front teeth, they overlapped. He's dead. South Pacific. Like, she just, like, so flat. He's dead. That part was so funny to me.
When she finally admits the whole thing, when she's like, he got the wife and the house and the mortgage and the kids, and they were all supposed to be mine. Well, not the wife.
Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah.
Except the wife.
Or Betty. Or Nancy.
And then she said, and you don't look a thing like him, you ugly bartender.
You ugly fuck. You ugly fucking bartender.
She got his ass.
You
And he's
couldn't
just
shine
standing
his
there like,
shoes.
and he's just standing there like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Do I have to kiss this bitch's ass?
Yeah.
Oh, and then Connie and Charlie are being super sweet with each other when he comes over to talk to her.
Cute.
Yeah.
Now, this is the part that I had where I was going to talk about Connie. So, do you think that she, in the world of the movie, is supposed to be like a fat, ugly uggo, and that's why she has low self-esteem? Or is she just supposed to have low self-esteem? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, in the world of the movie, is she like the ugly fat one, and that's why she thinks that nobody will love her or wants to be with her? Why she keeps assuming that everybody's just there to like, because she's got that part where she's like, obviously you're just here to do, my friend a favor. You're just being nice by being my date at the wedding or whatever. And then he's like, no, you're doing me a favor by being my date at the wedding. Like, she's constantly just like going in with the assumption that she's not wanted. So do you
Yeah.
think that it's because she's the fat, ugly one, or is it because she
I don't
just has
know,
low
'cause
self-esteem?
It's
When I was watching it, I was like, I just think she's so beautiful. Like, I think
I
she's
was
the
gonna
prettiest out of
say,
all of them.
I
For
think-
me.
I did not get that vibe at all, but it makes sense based on what you just said, because I was confused why she said that. I was like, wait, why did
Yeah.
she say that? She's literally like so like cute.
Yeah, I know.
Especially
It's
knowing
crazy.
this was made in 2003.
That's
that would make
probably
sense to me.
yeah, because the fat shaming in the early 2000s is insane.
Yeah.
Like very skinny women, and they would say that they're fat.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because
Crazy.
she's not. I mean, she's
No.
beautiful. Like, so it's crazy. But so that's why I was wondering if they're trying to imply that, like,
I think they probably were,
yeah,
but
'cause
it's
she's
crazy.
a little bit like plumper than everyone else. So that's why, but not,
Yeah.
gorgeous, whatever. So it's
Yeah.
crazy that that's the case. But I think it is. I think that's what they're going for, especially by like 1953 beauty standards, not even 2000 beauty standards.
Oh my gosh, I can think of like two scenes real quick. One, of course, Mean Girls. You know that scene? What is that? Do you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. You know that scene in Mean Girls, and it's like supposed to be after Regina George has been eating the Caltine bars
Yeah.
for a while, and like she bumps into that girl in the lunchroom. She's like, "Watch it, fat ass!" And
Yeah.
it shows her butt, and it's like so small. And then in Bring It On, I think I don't remember which one it is. Is it the third one? The one with Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah.
And there's like the girl on the squad, and she's like literally so like she's thin. Like she would be considered thin today.
Mhm.
And they were like, yeah, like you need to drop a few pounds if you want to stay on the team. She's like, I'm only a couple pounds more than I was last year. And they're like, yeah, and that was pushing it. And you look at her and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or what's her face?
Crazy.
Remember Knocked Up when Katherine Heigl is trying to get on air and Kristen Wiig, that whole scene where they're like, we can't tell you to lose weight, but you should tighten it up. Like tighten it up by
Yes.
15, 20, tighten up. We
That's
can't tell you.
crazy.
All
Yeah.
of those, and then also watching America's Next Top Model really shaped
Oh my
me
God,
and all my
triggering.
insecurities.
Triggering.
So yeah. So I think that is what I think she's supposed to be, like the ugly one. So when you know you're talking about like effectively the billionaires of the world, this is the like children of the billionaires of the world. I mean, they're probably millionaires, but
Right. Did billionaires even exist?
no. Well, maybe the Rothschilds, I think, had billions back then, but
Yeah.
I don't think the captains of industry back in the 50s were billionaires yet. But effectively, for inflation, they had the money of what the billionaires have now, the buying power and the power. So they're the top tier people. So wedding's over, and then everybody's standing outside the brick building in the rain for some reason. And this is where we get the Jackson Pollock field trip. And we already talked about him, so we don't really have to go into Jackson Pollock again. But yeah, fuck him. Overrated. Overrated. And then it's Connie is practicing a cello alone in a big room with a coat on for some reason.
And she's so talented.
Yeah. Why is she wearing her coat? Why is she alone?
Cold.
I guess.
I wear my coat a lot.
And then
cold.
and then she's done and Charlie's clapping and she goes, "Where did you come from?" And he says, "Mars." So that's very cute.
That was really lame. Oh.
No, it's completely lame. They're a bunch of dorks, but it's cute
Yeah,
how dorky
it's cute.
and lame
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
And then he goes up and kisses her. And I mean, this scene kind of makes me feel that she is just dumb, like, or has the lowest self-esteem because he's kissing her and she's like confused about what's happening. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing? Are you kissing me?" I mean, I get that she has self-esteem, but she's not stupid. I mean, she's obviously a smart person. So that was kind of a weird scene.
Yeah. Well.
But that happened and it was cute and I like them both and I hope the best for them. I'm sure they're going to do great things in the world going forward.
We wish them well.
And then the president, old lady, wants to do a walk and talk with Catherine. And she asked her if she's going home for the holidays. And she goes, "No, it's too expensive." And then she says, "Your teaching methods are too unorthodox. A little less modern art. Be more boring. Because this school sucks fucking ass. And better conform." And then it's outside the school. And it's now winter, very wintry. And Catherine slips and falls on the stairs. And that's pretty cool. Like downward shot.
Watching, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happens next.
I did like that scene.
Yeah,
it was very real.
It was a very good scene. I've done that before.
Yeah, I've done that too. And you really do just lay there for a while.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, my ass hurts. Did I break anything? And all the kids are leaving for Christmas. And then it's to Betty's house. And they're having a little Christmas style. I don't think it's Christmas yet, but I don't know. But I don't think just the four of them would be having a Christmas dinner. They'd be at their rich families' houses for actual Christmas, I'd imagine.
And then Jones stupidly tells Betty about applying for Yale, which I don't know why anyone's telling Betty anything at this point.
I know.
Stop telling her things.
I know.
Why is anyone friends with Betty?
Because she has a new washer and dryer and they want to be friends with her. And Spencer takes off to go fuck women in New York City. And I have my notes. Kirsten Dunst makes Julia Stiles and Topher Grace seem like even worse actors than normal by being so much better than them.
Yeah.
And then it's Catherine is at home doing a paint by numbers and Paul shows up. and surprises her.
I just wanted him off my screen the whole time. My note says, "Get this ugly man off my screen. He sucks."
It's goddamn Roger fucking Sterling. I
Yeah,
love
well,
him.
he's ugly as hell in this, and also in The Crown. Hate him in that too. Pisses me off.
Wait till you see him do blackface in Mad Men. That's pretty funny.
Lovely. That's his third strike.
He's out.
I have they go walking to the bar, and I have my notes. This movie ceased to be a fall movie and became a winter movie 20 minutes ago.
It did,
Split
but
this movie up and did like half of it for fall and half of it for winter.
Yeah.
yes,
I think
but
that's
it's a transition, which is
I'm
perfect
just
for
kidding.
right now.
I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding. I don't care. But only because you guys gave me so much shit,
Technically,
like
when
I
this
said.
comes out, it's not going to be fall anymore. It's going to be winter.
It'll be fall where you
I
guys
hate
live.
that.
Well, yeah. It's always the same here, but that doesn't count.
Fall doesn't last long enough.
Where
is fall
is
the shortest season?
they're all
Are they
the
all
exact same.
Doesn't feel like it. Winter feels the longest for sure.
It's because there's so much happening in the fall.
Yeah, I know. Fall goes by so fast. Like, what do you mean we're over halfway through October already?
Yeah.
More than halfway.
That's what I said.
Why is Giselle? Where is Giselle? And why is Bill there? She's outside smoking outside of some building, and Bill shows up.
She's outside his place.
No, he lives in that cabin out by the lake.
Hmm.
That's what I thought too. I have in my notes that she's outside his apartment waiting for him, but then the whole rest of the movie, they're at that lake house.
Didn't they say that she does that? That she waits outside his apartment?
Does he have an
Maybe
apartment
he just has
and
a lake
maybe he has
house or
two different
something.
places? That must be it.
Because why would he live all the way over there?
Must be. So we're back in the bar, and Paul proposes to Catherine, and she looks like she's about to puke.
In the most annoying way.
Yeah. And then Giselle and Bill show up, and he basically says, "Hey, we just got engaged like 30 seconds ago," and she looks like she's about to die.
Well, no, because he shoves the ring on her finger, and then Giselle
She didn't even say
and-
yes.
No, she didn't say yes
No.
at all. And then they show up, and she's talking to him, and she's about to introduce him to them, and he cuts it and says fiance. Like, he interrupts her to say fiance, and I was like, please die right here.
Yeah, he's a total dickbag right here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I agree with your take on him being a piece of shit. I would never propose to someone.
Period.
Period.
That's the end of the sentence.
Never again.
I mean, you barely did the first time.
Yeah, kind of didn't. Sort of like, hey, want to get married?
How romantic.
Romantic.
Yeah, and it worked out so well for everyone.
What is it with all these movies where men are proposing in the worst ways?
They
There's
just
no-
all do that. Well, not all.
There's some good ones.
It's all so cheesy. The whole thing's so cheesy. They walk back to her house, and she's this whole scene where she's like, "You have to sleep on the couch because there's rules," and he's like, can't go train all the way across the country to sleep on the couch." And then she goes,
Disgusting.
"Well, go ahead
No
and just
means no.
go ahead and just get back on that train, motherfucker,
Yeah.
dumbass. You come all the way to Massachusetts in the winter. You don't bring
I
a
didn't
coat."
come all the way.
And then she calls him Bill.
Hilarious.
Oh, did she? I missed
Yeah,
that part.
she did. And he's like, my name's Bill, or my name's Paul.
Sorry.
And she didn't really say anything after that.
That's very good. That's very funny to me. I didn't even catch that. I watched this
I
movie
didn't
twice.
catch that the first time, but I caught it the second time. And then
Huh.
it's the Van Gogh lesson, which I liked.
Nope.
Well, that's what I
The
had.
next one is Nancy's leaving for Christmas, or leaving for like Christmas, New Year's to go hang out with her family. And she goes, it's fine. I have a lot of research to do, because she invites her along.
Okay, but this
And
is
then
like
Nancy goes,
Sure.
well, Nancy goes, "See you next year." And that joke's been around forever, and it's never going to get old. Anytime anybody says
Never
that,
going away.
it's never going to get old. It's been
Unfortunately.
around forever.
I'm glad
And then
we covered that.
true to her word, she is at the library. Catherine's doing research, and she sees
Cut that out.
She sees Bill's little butt. She sees his little butt as he's looking. He's in the library, and she stares at his little butt, sexy little butt. And then it's back in class, and it's the Van Gogh fucking lesson, okay?
Okay.
And he died without ever selling a painting.
That's so sad.
And he cut
And
his
they
ear
turned
off.
his shit into paint by numbers. And he didn't want that.
Makes me so sad.
And she goes, no one has a Van Gogh in their house. And that one girl goes, well, we do, but it's in the small. It's
But
in
it's
the
very
small
small.
house, but it's very small.
It's very small.
That was
Shut
funny.
up.
And then Betty shows up and she's being super bitch, extra bitch. She's leveled up
She
her
is
bitch
on
mode now.
one.
Now that she's married to a Jones, now that she's a Joneses,
Mm-hmm.
she's gone into psycho bitch mode. I was on my honeymoon and I had to set up house. What do you expect? And they have the whole little argument. And she goes, why not get married as freshmen? Then you can graduate without ever having to step foot on campus.
Got her.
This was a lot of good,
Little,
like, one-liners.
yeah, little back and forth, little jabs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are you come to class and do the work or I'll fail you? I'm educating you and that's my job.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only one who can go toe to toe with Julia Roberts in the acting in this movie, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So they're both so good.
Yeah.
And then we get people are sledding, and then we get an aerial shot of Catherine just walking around in the middle of not fall. And what do you call it? What is it called when it's not fall? Oh, it's winter. It's winter. That's what's happening now. It's winter. And then she's at the bar again, drinking coffee, reading a book. And then it's outside school again. And this is where she comes and invites her to go to their creepy little club.
Oh yeah.
And so she comes to every year we nominate a teacher to come to our AR meeting. But we don't know what AR is yet until the next scene. And we learn that it means Adam's ribs. Do you guys get that? You probably don't get that.
Is that like
Like Adam
It's
and Eve.
Adam and Eve?
Yeah. But do you
Yeah.
know the story behind that?
I do, but I can't remember it.
Is that Eve was created from Adam's rib.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
knew that.
So basically they're just named their club after subservient to men is kind of what they're going for. Is that we're here to serve men. And they called their club after that, which is weird. What do you guys think of this whole entire scene?
I don't
I'm wondering
understand
what
the
they gave it a
smell part.
drink.
Some gross shit, whatever it was.
Something really bad. What'd you say, Jaiden?
Because she says, do you swear not to repeat what you see, hear, or smell tonight?
Mm-hmm.
What was the smell?
I was assuming it was like weed or something.
No, I don't think it was that. I
No?
think it was just being cheeky. I have my notes. These women will either be the cause of or very adjacent to the men that do the worst shit for the next 50 plus years.
I don't think Connie will do that.
Oh, you don't think so?
No.
Connie's an angel.
She's Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
She's my Snow White.
They're all
In
going to be
Once Upon
married
a
to
Time.
dudes in the CIA going and doing coups in other countries. Like these are the people, these Yale boys and these Harvard boys are all going to grow up and be the worst people in the world, doing the worst shit. But Betty's very mad that they invited Catherine, being a total cutback. Catherine tells the story about her fiance before the war and how it fucked up the life. And Giselle's parents were also changed by the war. They were the first on their block to get divorced. And we really get Giselle's daddy issues origin story here. And they ask her if UCLA is close to Hollywood. And she goes, close enough. And compared to Massachusetts, it is very close to Hollywood, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And then Giselle tells them that she's engaged, but then she says she's not. And this is where, so Catherine confirms that she hooked up with William Holden in this scene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
And then Betty throws Joan under the bus here with the whole Harvard or the
Oh,
Yale Law School
yeah.
thing. And what did she think was going to happen by telling Betty in the first place? Nothing good can happen from telling Betty anything.
No.
We haven't learned that.
This is when Betty goes and writes it in the paper, right?
Well, the
whole
next
thing.
scene, yeah, it's like interwoven with the scene of Spencer and Betty, or they're doing like a Better Homes and Gardens photo shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, is this for Better Homes and Gardens? It might be. Like if there's some rich couple got married, but then it's just turns out to be pictures for the newspaper, for the school newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
not actually Better Homes and Gardens. And she does throw under the bus with that article. And then they're back at regular class with desks and shit. They're not in the big giant warehouse class. And Catherine is being super pissed off at Betty. And then she starts showing them all the ads, showing women being servants to men.
You didn't even say what the thing said.
I didn't write down what it said. I started getting sick and tired of taking notes of this movie at this point.
It says, married Wellesley girls have become quite adept at balancing obligations. One hears such comments as, I baste the chicken with one hand and outline the paper with the other. While our mothers were called to work for Lady Liberty, it is our duty, nay, obligation, to reclaim our place in the home, bearing the children that will carry our traditions into the future. One must pause to consider why Miss Catherine Watson, instructor in the art history department, has decided to declare war on the holy sacrament of marriage. Her subversive and political teachings encourage our Wellesley girls to reject the roles they were born to fill.
She'll be eating those words pretty soon.
Hot take.
The part where she's showing the ads, I liked when she said, because this was like kind of an emotional part, I feel like. And she says, a girdle to set you free. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? I give up. That part was sad. And then she
What
says,
does that mean?
Exactly. And then she says, I didn't realize that by demanding excellence, I would be challenging. What did it say? What did it say? The roles you were born to fill, which is what it said on the thing.
Class dismissed.
And then it ended.
And then she takes off to Bill's office and has a little hissy fit outside of his office.
Well, she goes to the president's room first.
Oh, yeah, she did. They do have a little argument there.
And then she asks, she says, these girls, are you proud, President Carr? And then she said, yes, actually, I am.
And she goes, women are so much better off than they were 50 to 100 years ago. And, you know, she does kind of have a point.
Yeah, she says 100 years ago, it was inconceivable for a woman to be a college graduate. Perhaps you should look back to see how far we've come. And then Catherine says, I'm sorry, from where I sit, it's just a different kind of corset. And then the president says, well, we can all use a little support.
Sick burn. Sick burn, Carr.
Got her with that.
She goes, and she drops a mic and goes, you've been card. And this is when she goes to Bill's office. To hell with Wesley. I'm done, goddammit. It's a finishing school disguised as a college. And then he yells at her and goes, you go to my fucking office. Go to my office. I should go to my office. And then they're in her office having a little office meeting. And she tells Bill that she broke up with her fiance for her 5-minute fiance. And then they're walking around school in the snow. And Bill chases her down and gives her a Christmas gift. The Viewmaster with the famous Italian paintings, including the Mona Lisa again, goddammit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They make out. And then they go to the bar and get drunk and eat some peanuts. Was there anything of note? Peanuts. They eat peanuts at the bar.
Peanuts?
They eat peanuts at the bar.
Yeah.
Whilst being drunk. And then they're at Bill's cabin by the lake. And they're by the fire after fucking. And Catherine tells them that she's not looking for anything serious. But while they're doing what they are doing, that he has to just absolutely promise not to fuck students anymore while they're fucking.
So insane.
It's totally
Crazy.
I
bananas.
hated that she started dating him. I was like,
Yeah.
this
why?
is why.
I know.
This and the whole Joan storyline, worst part of the whole movie.
Yeah, where the movie, outside of my earlier critiques, just from a broad point of view, but in the actual movie itself, where a lot of it is good, but there's parts of it, and we can kind of sort of blow through the rest of this, I think, but there's still a shit ton left. Good Lord. We're like halfway through, but
That's crazy.
We're more than halfway.
barely. But everybody just kind of does weird shit. Nobody seems to learn any lessons. Like Betty's the only one who really learns a lesson from anything. But
yeah. I do okay, I'm not going to jump to that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay, so they're together and he promises not to fuck any students while they're together. And
then they talk about going. At first, I was confused about what this party was, but I'm pretty sure it was. What was. I still actually don't know what the party was. But I put at the party. Don't remember what it's for.
Okay, so they're at the lake and she does the thing. And then he tells the whole story to her about him being in Italy, in Italian. And then they're quick cut to Bill's class, and he's, I think, telling the exact same story to his students in Italian, and all the girls are falling in love with him. And then they're at the beach in the winter playing in the waves with their clothes on like a bunch of psychopaths, getting totally wet. And then
Insane.
Charlie and Connie are at the Cape Cod resort, and he's hiding from the McIntyres, and she uses her skills to get them a seat at the bar. And then, there's that scene where Charlie walks by with the photo covering his face, which is funny, but it's very much drawing attention. Like, who's that guy with fucking walking across the hallway with
what the hell?
holding a picture in front of his face? The McIntyres are going to see that shit. And then it's synchronized swimming, and they're smoking. They're doing a little smoke break while they're swimming, and I was very jealous of that. I want to hang out in the pool smoking cigarettes, but this is where Betty fucks over Connie by telling her that Charlie's only using her and that he's promised to the McIntyre girl. And she goes, "Oh, the McIntyres," and she puts it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very
then
sad.
we're outside
Connie.
Catherine's house as Nancy looks at them through the window, like, oh, her and Bill are like making out. And then she walks in and Nancy goes, "How can you date a pedophile like that?" She doesn't use those words, but that's what she's talking about. And then it's there's a couple scenes of spring. It's springtime, and then it's the spring fling dance party. That's what you're talking about.
Mm.
And the Harvard dudes are singing the Constant and Opal song, Harvard. So Harvard's also Massachusetts, so that must be like the very close school to them, because I think that's where Topher Grace and Cousin go. They're Harvard.
Such a catchy song.
Yeah, it very is. Very is a catchy song. Oh, and this is where Nancy tells Connie that she reminds her of herself when she was her age, and
I was like,
really
"Oof."
blows up her whole fucking world. And Giselle's getting drunk off of her little flask as she watches Bill and Catherine together. Connie sees Charlie with some other slag, and Charlie chases after her, basically says Betty was full of shit and didn't start seeing Miranda until after Connie ghosted them. So fuck you, Betty.
Mm-hmm.
And then Connie's like crying on the steps, and Betty comes over and they get in a little fight and goes, "You made me believe that he was hiding me. And then either way, why can't you let me be happy?"
And she didn't even act like she was sorry. She just kind of walked away.
Yeah, like
while she was crying.
She's not sorry.
Yeah, so even though Betty does end up having her little turn, she doesn't. The only thing that makes her learn anything is when she gets fucked over. Like, she doesn't learn anything
Exactly.
from anybody else's anything she
Yep.
does to anybody else ever in this entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a pretty elaborate party they're having.
What was it for again?
Spring
Spring
Fling
Fling.
Dance 1954 is what was on the banner above the band.
And then Catherine, they're all dancing and like switching people who they're dancing with. And then she starts dancing with Tommy. And this part pissed me off so much.
Oh, yeah. I have it written down too, what he says.
And like they're talking about like, at first he says, "Congratulate me," or whatever. Like, shut the fuck up, please.
No.
And then she says something about Yale, and he's like, "Yale?" Like, he's confused. He doesn't even register what she's talking about. And then he's like, "Oh, you mean Shoni?" Like, God forbid anyone talks about anyone other than you fucking freak.
Yeah. And then he's got the line about, it's going to be an awful long commute to get dinner on the table by 5 o'clock. And she's coming from Yale.
Yeah. I know this is how it was back then, but oh my God, it's so infuriating to see.
And then Spencer takes off to go fuck another chick in New York.
Which Tommy obviously knows that that's happening.
He definitely knows about it.
That's why I was like, if that is her brother, which I don't know if it is, but if it is, then I mean, it makes sense because her mom's the exact same way, but Jesus Christ.
But I don't even think that it's implied that he's necessarily even hiding it. They're just not saying it out loud. Because I think he knows that she knows that he knows, and that everybody knows. They're just not saying it, because she immediately just takes off and goes to her parents' house, and she knows. So I think that he knows that she knows, and they're just, being proper and not saying it out loud. But I don't think he thinks he's fooling anyone. He's just doing what he thinks he's supposed to be doing. So it's still a dick move, of course, but I don't think he thinks he's fooling anyone. They're just not saying it out loud. Is this where Mom throws her against the wall? Or was that during the wedding planning thing? I don't remember. But Betty's mom is a real bitch to her and says,
Real bitch.
"Go home, fix your face, and wait for your husband."
Yeah.
And then it's immediate cut to Catherine going over to Joan's house. And this is the whole scene where she says that she just wants to be a housewife to a rich dude and not have to worry about law school, and that it's her choice.
And they didn't even have a wedding because he didn't want to have a wedding.
Yeah.
They just
They
got
eloped over the weekend. Yeah, she finds out that they got married over the weekend.
And I understand the point of this is like, yes, feminism is having a choice. Like, yes, it is, but she obviously wanted to go to Yale. She was so excited about it.
Yeah.
She applied. It's not like she didn't really care about it or didn't want to. She obviously wanted to. That's why it pissed me off so much that she didn't, because she could have just fucking waited to have kids. You can go do both.
That's
You
what's
don't
so
have to have
crazy about
kids
this
right
movie.
now.
But that's what she said. That's what Catherine said, and I forget exactly what she said, but she didn't feel like she could do both.
Yeah, because she was like, I have to have kids now. And it's because they tried to make it seem like this was like a revelation that, oh my God, feminism is not only just not being a housewife, but it's also having the choice of being a housewife if you want to, but it didn't make any sense.
Exactly. That's why this movie got such terrible reviews by everyone, is for all these plot points that go nowhere. And most everybody takes the easy way out except for Betty and just goes along with the flow. Like even Catherine, not to skip to the end, just quits. Like she doesn't stay and like try to change the school. She just fucking pieces off, but we'll get to it later. And then it's where we see Giselle making out with some old dude that she's having an affair with at Broadway in New York at some show. And then she looks out the window and sees Spencer making out with some blonde chick.
Dude, that guy was gross. Sorry.
Yeah, he does suck, which is why he's never been in any other movie that I know of, unless he's in some famous show on Netflix that I don't know about. And then Connie breaks into Harvard dorm to see Charlie. And there's just absolutely no way in God's hell that every single dude in a college dorm would be going, "You can't be here, you're a girl."
I know.
And
I
then
was like,
pounding
why
on the
do
doors.
you care?
Yeah, like, "Get out of here, girl. You're getting vagina all over our dorm room. Then that's yucky." Like, that's insane. That entire scene, unless we're supposed to be thinking that they're all thinking that Connie is a disgusting fat pig and they wanted this fat bitch out of their dorm. That's the only possible way that can make any sense whatsoever, which I do not believe that's what they were doing. I think it was just complete insanity. Like, I get why the dudes at the gate would not want, the old man at the gate would be saying that, but girls aren't allowed in this dorm. Like, it's fucking so stupid. But the scene was nice, I suppose, whatever. I'm glad that they got together on a superficial level.
Yeah, they were cute. That's all I have to say.
I've lost myself.
And then they go back to Connie and Giselle's room.
And she's celloing again.
Yeah, and she's talking to her about how they stayed up all night talking. And then Giselle says, we stayed up all night too, not talking.
Yeah, and Betty calls her a whore.
Betty comes in and freaks the fuck out. Which,
Goes
I mean,
level 1,000.
Can you imagine like getting cheated on and nobody knows around you and your best friend's just like the other woman? Like, I get it, but like Giselle was a really good friend to her in this moment.
I know. I was pretty surprised. I thought for sure that Giselle was going to slap Betty in the face.
I'm so glad she didn't.
Yeah. So that was a little, it went against expectations that she was a good friend and gave her a hug and like all that kind of shit. Cheesy and shit, but
this part was so sad.
But it worked. That was an effective scene. I did like that scene. Mm-hmm. So I'll give that a thumbs up as far as that scene goes, because it totally got me. Not like emotionally, it didn't get me. It just got me in the like, oh, I didn't think that was going to happen. That went totally a different way than I was expecting.
Yeah, I feel like she was very noble to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that most people would have. I don't think she necessarily deserved that. So.
Not at all. No, Betty definitely did not earn that grace from Giselle in any way, shape, or form.
I think if she had been a good friend before all of this, then she would have deserved it, just based off of what she's going through. But her being just a shitty friend in general, she hasn't.
She's just been a shitty friend in person the entire time, and
to
then
everyone.
went level 1,000,000 on you, calling you a whore, and you hug her.
Yeah.
Better than me.
I mean, the only reason she did that is because she saw him cheating. She knew.
Yeah.
If she
Yeah.
didn't know, then she wouldn't have.
Why did you say that it was with her best friend? Oh, you're never mind. I was thinking that her husband, the dude that the chick that Giselle
Mhm.
saw him with, was that? I thought it was just some rando.
It
Was it someone?
was.
Okay.
No, it was. I think she was saying. I don't think she said that. I think she was
Okay.
just saying, like, if she had been a good friend, then, like, before.
Oh yeah, if Betty had been a good friend to everybody else, then she would have.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, she was never, ever, ever a good friend. So I don't know why she feels the need to be a good friend to her, but,
Yeah.
you know.
But alas, it
Either way.
happened. We don't have to think about it too hard because it's a movie.
Mm,
And we're a movie podcast, but we're not a thinking
yeah.
podcast.
Okay.
And then we get a faculty meeting, which is where they go, Catherine has the highest enrollment ever, and they come up with all these stipulations that she would need to agree to in order to get hired on again. And then we're at Bill's cabin, and Catherine comes running in with the brochures for Europe, and she opens the shower, and Bill's old army buddy is in the shower. Which it's all a pretty funny scene, but then this is also extremely unrealistic, where the friend just basically sells out Bill completely, which just he's either the stupidest guy ever in the history of time.
Which she probably is.
Yeah, I
I don't
suppose.
think that it was like. I don't think he even registered that he had been lying about it. I think it was just
No.
like, oh yeah, well,
Well, what I'm proposing is that any bro would have picked up on and just gone. He may not have successfully have lied, but he would have at least caught it and been like, "Oh yeah, Europe, of course, yeah." When we were in Italy, like he would have. Any other dude who would have picked up on that Bill has been running some sort of scam about telling people that he was in Italy and just gone with whatever he said. It would have been a better scene, I think, if
Yeah.
well, yes, but then he would have been on my suicide list. So
Yeah. I did think the same thing though, because I was like, how is he not picking up
yeah.
that he lied about that on purpose? Like he's like, oh no, he must have
Yeah,
misremembered.
I don't think he's ever been to Europe.
Anyway.
It should have been like where he tried to cover for him and did a bad job, and we still would have gotten to the same point. It just would have been seemed a little more realistic, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
then they talk
Yeah.
at the river,
Mm-hmm.
and oh my god, oh, I was like, wow, I'm so shocked. Who would have thought he's a liar? I knew he was a piece of shit from the very beginning. The first time I saw this,
I knew he was a piece of shit when he was sleeping with his students.
yeah.
No,
So.
they're like right in front of the river, talking, and
Oh,
this is
at the
where
lake, out by under the tree at the lake when he totally
it says
turned.
river in the script. I don't know.
Oh, really? I think.
Hmm.
But he totally fucking gaslights her and reverso unos
Yes.
everything back onto her in such a
He
fucking shitty
immediately
way.
made it her fault that he lied.
He's
He's
like,
like,
"You're so perfect that I can't even. I can't even
literally
live up
says-
to your standards."
he says, you don't make it easy. You're so perfect. It's impossible to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fuck, what a dickbag.
And then on top of that, she's like, well, just to you or whatever. And then he's like, making her feel like shit because of something that has nothing to do with what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
Mr.
what?
Subject Changer asshole.
Deflecting ass bitch.
I knew that he was a piece of shit because I've seen The Wire.
Yeah, I just hated this whole storyline, to be honest.
It didn't need to happen.
It really didn't. They could have done something else.
Well, really,
none of it.
None of this
His
movie needed to
character-
happen.
Well, yeah.
Like almost, I mean, okay, so let's just blow through because we can just talk about the whole point of this entire movie. Let's just get through it because not much more happens in the rest of this movie because all that really happens is a whole extra scene about.
Well, Betty tells her mom that she's getting a divorce.
Yeah, and her mom's like, give it a year and don't wash your dirty laundry in public. This is
And
where
then
she throws her
does
against the
Mona
wall, right?
Lisa, she says like the Mona Lisa thing.
Oh yeah, more Mona Lisa shit.
Yeah.
This is. I feel like this is actually where it kind of tied in a little bit. I liked this speech.
Yeah, she said, she looks happy looking at the Mona Lisa, and then, so what does it matter? Let me tell you something. Not everything is as it seems. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it was, it's a good scene because Kirsten Dunst is in it. She's good,
Mhm.
but I didn't really like the whole point of it. And getting a little sick of Mona Lisa popping up in this movie because it
What
happens
is the
again in like
name?
It
2
was
more
kind of a
minutes.
stretch. I think the Mona Lisa thing was kind of a stretch.
Yeah.
But
Because then we're back home and Catherine walks in and had been a party for her getting to stay.
Well, first
And
the president is writing that thing about how she has to show the syllabus and stick to the syllabus. She has to submit everything for
Oh, yeah.
approval first, and then
Mhm.
she reads that.
I have this scene was so completely unnecessary because we already know all of this and we just heard
Yeah.
it 5 minutes before.
Mhm.
We could have cut this scene completely out because
I
we
think
don't
that
need to
they
hear it
needed.
again.
I think they needed that, or they could have cut the one before.
Yeah.
They needed that to show that she had read the letter and was thinking about not
Yeah.
coming back.
One of them could have been cut.
Yeah.
We didn't need it. So we get the party and then I got Nancy's really addicted to TV. Like I feel like she's going to love Facebook, being racist on Facebook in 2007 when she's 90 years old.
Oh, the show is called Strike It Rich. That's what it's called.
Mm.
Also, why did she throw her a party when she didn't even know if she was coming back?
I assume she
She
just
just assumed.
assumed that of course she's going to come back because why wouldn't she?
But
And
like,
really,
why throw her a party? A surprise party? It just
because
seems-
she loves having gatherings, I suppose, in her house. She doesn't like leaving the house, but she likes having parties and people in her house.
Hmm.
She doesn't want to go anywhere. And then for some reason we're back in class again and holy Christ, it's
Wait,
the
no,
fucking Mona Lisa again.
you skipped the part where Catherine says, "Let's get gussied up." I just love
Oh,
that
yeah.
part. And then she's like, "No, I have to watch the show."
Yeah, that's where I just wrote down she's addicted to TV because she doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, that part was funny to me.
And then it's Mona Lisa in the fucking class again. They're just looking at Mona Lisa again for some reason.
Mhm.
Too much Mona Lisa.
What's the name of the movie?
I get that, but it's enough already. And then she goes into her office and there's all the paintings of flowers. And I have, now that Betty has had her life destroyed, anyone can be nice. Everyone's allowed to be nice to Catherine now. And then it's graduation time and Betty blows past her mom to go ask Catherine to get her an apartment in Greenwich Village because she's filed for divorce and that her and
Finally.
Giselle are going to live
Mhm.
together in a lesbian love
Yeah.
lifestyle in New York. And her mom calls her a very racist slur.
Is he a racist slur?
Yeah, no, you remember that?
I looked that word up because I was confused and I don't
The
remember
K,
what
the
it
K
said.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's a
Oh.
very, very racist Jewish slur that I'm not even
Mhm.
going to say. I don't want the ADL suing us.
And then Catherine tells her she's not coming back, or she doesn't know she's coming back. Not sure.
I don't think they say because then it's Catherine in her office writing all the letters about how she's totally giving up on doing anything. She's just giving up. She's like, fuck this shit. I'm leaving and going to Europe.
She
Like,
said, she says, "Dear Betty, I came to Wellesley because I wanted to make a difference, but to change for others is to lie to yourself." And then that has the ending part where Betty's talking over, I think that scene where they're riding bikes or something. I
Yeah.
think it's over that or
Yeah, it
before
is.
that, whatever. She says, "My teacher, Catherine Watson, lived by her own definition and would not compromise that, not even for Wellesley. I dedicate this, my last editorial, to an extraordinary woman who lived by example and compelled us all to see the world through new eyes. By the time you read this, she'll be sailing to Europe, where I know she'll find new walls to break down and new ideas to replace them with. I've heard her called a quitter for leaving, an aimless wanderer, but not all who wander are aimless, especially not those who seek truth beyond tradition, beyond definition, beyond the image. We'll never forget you."
Yeah. She definitely is a quitter for leaving. The fix for this movie is for them to fire her because she doesn't stop doing it. So they fire her and force her to leave and making it out of her control. If this was a true story and she really quit and left, then sure, tell us but they don't need to. She doesn't have to quit because it's not real. This didn't happen. So they could have just made it where they fired her because she did something so subversive that they just had to let her go.
Well, she didn't want to have to compromise.
No,
And
I
like,
get that, but in the world of these types of movies where either they have to overcome and change the institution for the better by being so perseverant that the institution caves to them, and or they have to be a martyr, and they did neither one. She just said, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm going to fucking Europe to look at paintings. And the everybody else just is like, yeah, I'm just not going to go to law school, I'm just going to be a wife. And
Yeah.
nobody changed anything. Nobody,
Yeah.
Bill didn't, nothing happened to Bill. He just got broken up with. Now he just gonna go back to fucking students.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing happened in this movie except for Betty became a lesbian and moved in with Giselle into Greenwich. So she gets to be a bitch for the entire movie, and even though she did make the right choice at the end, it was only because of something terrible happening to her. And she didn't take the easy way by, staying rich. She has to, go. She unfortunately has to move to probably the coolest place ever in the history of time at the exact best part of time when it was at being the coolest.
that's why the part with Joan pissed me off so much, because that could have been such a good ending of her going to Yale and
Yeah,
becoming a lawyer. Like that would have been so
Mhm.
good. But instead
yeah.
we got nothing.
We got nothing. That's what this movie
Yeah.
pisses me off, because we got nothing. Like it's a lot of great performances and it looks cool and it had cozy vibes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the only lesson this movie wants us to think is that she inspired three girls to think about art in a little differently.
Yeah.
And Connie got a little bit of self-confidence. But really that had nothing to, well, I guess maybe it had to do with being inspired by Catherine going against the grain, but not really.
Well, at least she'll get to say, I told you so in 20 years.
Suppose so.
And then we get to the part where they're chasing after her in her little taxi, and I just, cute, but like
Mhm.
also, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Weird.
Yeah.
Made me uncomfy.
And then the taxi driver's like, get the fuck
Get
away from
the
my
fuck.
car.
That's how I felt. Like, what are you stupid? Like, this movie makes no sense.
Step on the gas.
I like the vibes of this movie. I like the idea of this movie.
Yeah, no, it's
I like this movie, and I would probably watch it again. I mean, not anytime soon, but I would watch it again, and I'm glad you guys watched it.
yeah. I looked at some reviews, like just kind of quickly, and just on Wikipedia in the article, they had some clips of reviews, and the general consensus was this is a really nice looking movie, but it's just ultimately like pretty fucking empty, and it's kind of
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything.
Just
And
honestly, based off the cast alone,
yeah,
I
no,
would
it's
like this movie.
got a really lot of great performances, and fucking Mike Newell directed the shit out of it. It looks great. I like the way it looks, and if you don't think about it too much, it's really good. But if you stop and think about it past,
Exactly, because when I was watching it, not thinking too much about it, I was like, this is so good. But then now that we're talking about it, I'm like, okay, maybe it's not as good. But I still
Yeah.
That's
like
what always
it.
happens on this podcast. I'm always like, this movie's so good. And then we actually analyze it. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
Like,
kind
I-
of like that's good. I like that. That's kind of the intention of this movie is I'm trying to get you guys to like better movies. So
The intention of the podcast, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I think one part is like you guys will get me to like movies that I overlooked
Mm-hmm.
that you like back in the day or whatever, and I will get you guys to be more advanced in your critical critique of movies and maybe
Yeah.
appreciate stuff more based off of things like that. So hopefully we're going in the right direction.
But it is kind of nice sometimes to just watch a movie and not have to think so much into it, and you can just enjoy it.
True.
For sure, but it's also nice to be able to do that, but also know you that way you're making like an informed choice to just live in kind of like a superficial movie for the vibes, but know that it's a piece of shit and make that decision to do it anyway for fun, for the comfort of it.
Yeah.
Where you can go, I know this movie fucking sucks, but I like the way it's fun. It's a comfort movie. I mean, it's sort of like the definition of a guilty pleasure. That's what it means, is this sucks, but you like it anyway, despite the fact that it sucks.
Well, I think it kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier too, when we were talking about art and like what speaks to you. Just because a movie doesn't necessarily make the most sense, or like just because, like with this, when we were saying a lot of the plots didn't go anywhere, we didn't really get much change. Like, I still really enjoyed watching this movie the first time. And I think it speaks to me a bit, like as a woman, like certain concepts of it really speak to me and make me like it more than maybe someone else would like it.
Yeah.
And there are movies that you really like, Dad, that I will watch, or like I'll try to watch. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, it's sort
So-
of, you kind of have to judge it on its own terms of what it's going for.
Mm-hmm.
So there's movies that aren't really going for anything, that you can look at it through the lens of what you were just saying, where it's a fun thing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still enjoy this for the performances and everything, but I think why this movie is knocked down a few pegs is because I don't think it really succeeds in the goals that it's shooting for. I think it's going for this inspirational,
Mm-hmm.
like feminist style movie.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it succeeds on that level.
Yeah.
So that's why I knock it down a few pegs. Because if it was just a movie, like a period piece about this kind of stuff, but it has loftier intentions, I feel like it's trying to be more than what it ultimately ends up being.
Yeah, I feel that.
I think if they would have added more diversity to the movie and not had Bill exist at all, and
No Bill. No
took-
Paul either, honestly.
Well, I think
Not
the Paul
necessary.
part, like
Yeah.
her shooting down Paul based off of, she doesn't break up with these people for her own reasons, or for her to, she seems like she breaks up with them because they suck, not
Yeah.
because she wants to go do something and they're holding her back. They're just pieces of shit, and she's
Yeah.
like drawn to them. And then when she finds out that they're pieces of shit, she's like, oh, I guess I'll move on to the next piece of shit.
Mm.
It's not like Bill's going, I don't want you to go to Europe and learn about art. Like, it's just that he's a lying piece of shit. And
Well,
this is
yeah.
really, I don't know why he needed to be there.
I agree.
It could have been, he could be in the movie and she should have just been turning him down the whole time. And then it would have been better.
Yeah. And then sent
Yeah.
Joan to Yale, and this would have been a much better movie.
Yeah.
And
Lots
then
of
not
things.
quit in the end.
And then
Yeah.
also made Giselle and I want to say Connie, but I kind of like her and Charlie together.
I like her and Charlie.
Okay, made Giselle end up with Betty or something, and that would have been great.
Maybe
I
make the
think-
reason that Betty's such a bitch because she's actually a closeted lesbian.
But they never confirmed that. I want that confirmed. I want Giselle to actually be in a relationship with a woman the entire time, and I want that to be accepted.
Ooh,
and-
Giselle really likes older women. I want to see Giselle get with Amanda.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Her
that.
mommy issues instead of daddy issues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
We should just write a new movie.
We should.
We'll name it after some other painting.
We can do a remake.
Let's do a remix, a reboot.
Okay, how
Let's-
many Mona Lisas would you give it, Dad?
Is that for the movie or the fall? How good is it?
The Crunchy
vibes.
Leaves is for the fall. Mona
Okay.
Lisa's for the movie.
Well,
Okay, well tell me if you are happy that you saw this or mad.
I'm happy to have seen it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And I will give it 3 Mona Lisas because there's a lot of good stuff in it. Like, I liked a lot of the performances, and like I said, everything. It's just ultimately the plot and the intentions behind things I just didn't care for, but it wasn't a piece of shit. Like, I had a lot of stuff to like. So I'll give it a 3. I'll give it 3 Mona Lisas, and I will give it 1.75 Crunchy Leaves because
crazy.
it is a quarter of the movie is fall. No, I'll give it 3 Crunchy Leaves.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Okay.
Okay. Dad.
I'm glad I watched it. I really enjoyed it while I was watching it. I'm second guessing everything now.
Yeah.
But when I watched it, I was like, wow, this is great. I'd say like after talking about it all today and like really like kind of sitting with it for a couple days, I will give it 3.5 Mona Lisas. I would watch it again. But I see it a little bit different now. But as far as fall vibes, I'll give it 4 crunchy leaves. This is definitely something that I would like cozy up with
Yeah.
during the fall. It just gives me those vibes. Like you said, like the warm tones and everything. Just made
Yeah.
it feel. What about you? How many Mona Lisas? How many crunchies?
Originally, I gave it 4 Mona Lisas, but now that I'm talking about it, I think I'm between 3.5 and 4, so probably like 3.8.
Yeah, because I was originally gonna give it 4.
Yeah. But, okay, so yeah, 3.8 Mona Lisas, and then I'd probably give it, I don't know, I'd give it a 4 Crunchy Leaves. Or no, I'd
Mhm.
probably give it a 3.5 Crunchy Leaves, because I gave Stepmom 4, and I think that is more fall, for sure, to me.
You guys
But I do
remember?
like this movie as like a transition from like fall to winter. I think it's
Yeah.
great for that time,
I'll give it,
like a late November.
we'll give it 3.5 crunchy leaves and half a snowflake.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Full
Then
one full
can I give it
snowflake.
can I give it 2 crunchy leaves and 2 full snowflakes?
That's fine.
Yeah. What about you?
Probably the same. So 2 crunchy leaves and 2 snowflakes. The movie. Huh? Mona Lisa's.
You're muted, Jaiden.
I'll give it a 3.5 Mona Lisas. It was good, but it could have been better.
All right. I don't think this deems this movie to be a very important movie by our metric.
Yeah,
What
no
did we
one
say?
gave
4
it
stars?
4 stars.
It's got to be a 4.
4 average.
Yeah.
It's a very
And-
important topic, but not very importantly executed.
Yeah,
I guess.
we can't put this movie into the very important movie category,
I feel like
in our pantheon.
there's gotta be a movie that's like, there's definitely movies that are similar ideas, but probably executed better.
Yeah, I need to find
Just
something.
can't think of any.
I think that we
of my
need to
head.
have a theme of that.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
tell you,
our
we got
March
one
theme
we
is
got
already
one coming
taken.
up next year on my list already. So
Oh yes, we should have done it for Women's
Wait.
History Month,
Mm,
but whatever.
next year.
my feminist tome
No,
movie.
not next year. It'd be the year after next year.
What?
What?
Wait, what?
Because I think it's in March, and we already have a theme for March.
Well, I'm just saying my movie that I'm talking about is coming up next year. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your mom. Don't tell my mom, though. And as always, thanks for listening to another edition, another episode, another installment of the Very Important Movie Podcast, even though this movie was not very important. And as always, please out.